Solar eclipses. Solar eclipses. Solar eclipses. Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we get started again. Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we get started.
I can remember all the reasons why we've been separate ways. Feeling all alone in your company, keeping you captive in guilty chains.
We're night and day, solar eclipses. Too afraid to look, too scared to miss it. We're night and day, solar eclipses. Intoxicated, maybe we get started again. Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we get started again. Tomorrow we build, depends on the future we want, we can make it as real. Maybe we will go, give up the ego. Making it feel good. Too scared to just let it go. Too scared to just let it go. Tomorrow we build. Depends on the future we want, we can make it as real. Maybe we will go, give up the ego. Making it feel good. Too scared to just let it go. Too scared to just let it go. Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we get started again. Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we get started again. Started again. We get started.
exist till we bleed. And when all love had been depleted, we had but no choice to concede. As the stars were dancing in their line, past that we could never run. Oh, they were dancing way up high. Stars were dancing in their line. The future we will never run. Dirt on our feet was bone dry. It was bone dry.
Go on, myself. I'm cold steel stainless. My glass half full. Always said don't suffer no fools. Serpents, daydream. I bite, you call me lovely. Got a sweet tooth. Gonna get the sugar from you. When they say I'm a machine gun, I take it as a compliment. Honey, you should know I can be a weapon. I can be a weapon. Come cold blood, selfish. Your words are painless. I like when I drive and feel so dangerous. They say I'm a red flag, 'cause they want it so bad. You should know I'm holding on to what I had. When they say I'm a machine gun, I take it as a compliment. Honey, you should know I can be a weapon. I can be a weapon. Paralyze my heart. Don't wanna feel your touch like ice, tracing all my scars. Why is it hurt on the inside? It's unforgivable, but I forgive you every time. Hard to let it go, 'cause we're intertwined. I break you.
Hello and welcome to our final week of the Rocket League Rival Series, North American Edition. My name is Tom F. Battinger. I'll be your host, as I have been for the past couple of weeks. And joining me will be two illustrious individuals. We, of course, have Subi Smash and our very own Spaceman. Thanks for coming out of the stratosphere and joining us, Spaceman. How you doing, bud?
Welcome. Now I'm back to your guys' level. How's everyone doing?
I'm doing
You're the
all right, man.
worst.
Subi has everything since this afternoon.
It was good until I had to see Spaceman again this afternoon.
Yikes.
But what can you do? I'm just kidding.
Well-
I love you, Spaceman.
Enjoy your mountain range, buddy. I'll be over here.
All right.
You guys, Subi, you're absolutely my sunshine. It's been a sunshine day for these teams, and as we said, a bunch of weeks culminating into what we've got so far. So before we get into all the scenarios, as far as who's going to be ascending, staying still, and leaving, let's take a look at things as they are now. Up on top of the North American region, we have Charlotte Phoenix, Jay Wismont, Buddy, Charlotte Phoenix have been able to talk about the other side of things. My mistake. Charlotte Phoenix looking real strong. Omni Nation, though, giving them a run for their money. And Stromboli, previously up on top, now in that third spot. Down there on the bottom, RBG Esports. Oh well. But in that middle section, Ablev, Monkey Business, Chaos Esports Club, Mirage, even 72 Pin Connector, all of this is up for grabs right now. Now, the format of the Rival Series is why we're here. You want to take home some prize winnings, of course, but this is what we're going to be talking a lot about. We're going to be talking about the ascension to the RLCS. So if you're number one, you just go. Team BDS from Europe, congratulations to them. They have secured their spot. They will be up there. And that USWIT places with the 10th place team from the RLCS. Number 2 and 3 from the Rival Series will face off against number 8 and 9. And then everybody else, 4, 5, and 6 is safe. 7, 8, 9, 10 will have to requalify. So this is what it all comes down to, Subi. Teams right now jockeying for position and a lot going on there in the middle.
A lot going on for sure, and a lot of these teams not only fighting for positioning, but also money, as you see up there on the screen. A lot up for grabs. First place going to be taking home 13,000. 10th going to be taking home 2,000. So no matter what, you're going to be putting some extra cash in your bank account. But I think the big storyline of the day is all eyes will be set on Charlotte Phoenix in their matchup and Omni Nation, because they both need to win if they want to try and stay on top. They don't want to put a three-way tie up for grabs with Stromboli, because honestly, who knows what could happen if it comes down to that. I don't. I know Stax does. He can do all those crazy calculations on the fly. But if you're on either of those teams, basically, you got to do your job. Just go out and win and just see how it unfolds.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. Honestly, I think that if all goes as we expect with as far as our predictions are concerned, I do think this will be a little bit easy to digest. You know, we have some complicated things going on in the middle, but at the end of the day, most teams need to win and everybody needs Charlotte to lose. So everybody but Karma and her friends will be rooting against Charlotte Phoenix, and everybody else going to be rooting for themselves, essentially. So an interesting kind of back and forth here in the Rival Series. Spaceman, you've been kind of keeping an eye on things. I'm going to ask you to talk to me about match number 1, which is going to be Warriors versus Monkey Business. Before I do that, we'll mention Omni Nation and 72 PC. We'll be going head-to-head. Omni can only become number 1 if Charlotte lose. So that will be all based on how number 4 goes. Our third match, Mirage versus RBG. My notes literally say RIP RBG. They're number 10, and that's not going to change. But Mirage, they still have a shot at top 6, however unlikely it may be. And then our headline match of the day, Charlotte Phoenix and Chaos Esports Club. So I originally said that I would ask you to talk about match 1, but we've got a nice docket here, and I tell you what to do too much. So Spaceman, what do you want to talk about?
Well, I actually think you're right. I think we should talk about match 1 because it kind of sets the table for everything else. And thank God we have Stacks on our team, because this man's brain calculates all of these things. And I want to talk a little bit about sort of what we can expect. So Charlotte, yes, we're expecting them to win. And this week, today specifically, everyone's mentality should be win and you're in. I don't care what place you're in, just you want to win. Obviously, keep everything on the table. But if Chaos Esports, like they're looking for a top 6 finish, Mirage is top 6 with a win, and if Chaos Esports loses or Monkey Business loses against Warriors International, then Mirage is top 6. But if Warriors and Mirage win, then they're top 6. So like it's basically a must win for Warriors to be top 6. It's a must win for Mirage to be top 6. Monkey Business can't lose because then they drop a slot to Warriors International. Like there is, even though they would have the same record as Warriors, there is so many like shifting gears. It's like watching a Jenga tower slowly move into position. Like everything, it comes down to these matches, man.
It really does. The Jenga analogy is money. This is a house of cards. Now, to simplify things for those at home that haven't been following with the abacus like Daddy Stacks, Monkey Business wins and they are safe from relegation. They don't go up to the RLCS, but they are just chilling. That's all that has to happen. All that Sadie's boys need to do is win the game. When it comes to Warriors, they're all the way in the 9th place, so they need to win and cross their fingers. That's really all game number 1 means. So we can talk about all the intricacies post-game, but for right now, just know you're rooting for either of these guys. They need to win. It's really just that simple.
It is. Yeah.
Coming into this one, Warriors 3-5, Monkey Business 4-4. This one's a tight matchup. Spaceman, talk to me about it.
It's interesting because these two teams are very, very similar. You have basically Stokely and Aeon versus Buddy and Thunda in terms of defensive rotations, cutting off quick goals, and both teams had issues with booming clears. They've locked those up, especially last week. We saw Warriors International fix it. But the biggest factor right now is Stokely and Jay Wismont. Jay Wismont, of course, we had the matchup last week against Charlotte Phoenix. There was that huge storyline there. Thunda had to step up in weeks 4, 5, and 6. He's done that, but they've still struggled to close out games. Looking at Monkey Business, they win last week. A huge thanks to Khan with an overtime goal and a couple of key rotations that he wins to win challenges. These two teams are very similar, not only in record, at one being if Monkey Business wins, or if they win, then they have like a similar record. It's basically like a head-to-head. They're both very similar. That's all I can really say. Is it's going to be a week. It's literally going to be a week of either side has to win. They have to win to secure their spot, and the fact that they're this evenly matched plays out well for us who can watch it.
Well, that makes our job difficult because we come up here with predictions. I'm always right all the time, and if I was ever wrong, I wasn't. So let's move into that direction. And you heard what Spaceman had to say, Subi. So where are you thinking? This is tight. This is close. It's hard to call.
It is very hard to call. Only one game, or one series rather, really separates these teams. Both teams came into the season with a brand new player on the roster. But at the end of the day, I have to go with the team of Monkey Business just because they have an X factor. And I was hearing a lot of Supersonic saying like there's sometimes an intangible thing. You can't really chalk it up to stats with a team, and that's what Monkey Business has for me. They've got this intangible thing that you can't really measure by stats that I think is going to help them in this matchup against Warriors International.
I like that. How about you, Spaceman? You going with Monkey Business as well?
I am. I put a lot of stock into Com's performance last week as a precedent for this week, and I also put a lot of stock into having Thunda step up weeks prior. He did that, but this team is still, Warriors International is still struggling, and with the performance that Monkey Business had last week and what me and Subi saw from this team, I think that they have a ceiling that they're still hitting, and I think they're a better team all around than Warriors, regardless of how the actual placings of either team are. So I'm taking Monkey Business.
I'm going to take Monkey Business as well. I think during the earlier weeks, it was more difficult to really put your money on the Monkey Boys, but I think that this team has, one, improved as the season has gone on, and two, Tom's been insane. He's stepped up in the past couple of weeks, and it's really impressed me. So all three of us going the way of Monkey Business. Subi, how do they take this?
It's honestly, I think it's going to be a tight one. I don't think it's going to be a sweep. I could definitely see them winning it in 4 games. It's going to be an interesting matchup. I'm not super confident in my pick in this one, but there's some interesting notes going into this game. I mean, Monkey Business is second in the league when it comes to goals per game and assists per game, even though their record doesn't indicate that. They're sitting at 4-4. So this team has potential to be like an offensive just workhorse. They just need to be consistent with it.
No, I absolutely agree. Consistency is key, and I think this is one of those things, right? Like it comes. I look at this matchup less as which team I think is clearly a better powerhouse on the field, and I look at more as individually, who do I need to step up to win? You need Jay Wismon to step up, and you need Thunder to step up. On the other side, you really need Calm and Stokely possibly, but that's about it. Like if Calm plays his game, I don't see any way they drop this series. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think, like you said, it's going to be close. Game 4, I expect this series to at least go to, but it could have been a toss-up maybe 2-3 weeks ago. But at this point, looking at how Calm's played and looking at how Aeon and Stokely have pushed themselves in the mix, I don't see a situation other than Jay Wismont hard carrying where right now Warriors International take this series and secure their spot.
Well, and that's been the big head scratcher for me this entire season is Calm. He was nowhere, it seemed like, for the first 5 weeks, and then seemingly woke up out of nowhere. And if you watched last season, you know how dangerous he is, especially in those 1v1 scenarios. Like, he is absolutely filthy, and he can make you look silly, and he'll put you on a poster for it. And if that's the Calm we get today, then yeah, it's good night for the Warriors International. But if they can try and focus on him and take him out of the equation, Aeon and Stokely are going to have to step up big time.
Well, speaking to that point, I mean, Stokely was working on 1v1s. I mean, you could see him posting on social media, whether it was Reddit, Twitter, it didn't matter. He was putting in work in the extra hours, and I think that Calm kind of brings that leadership to this team where he forces everyone to obviously want to get better. You always want to improve. And speaking of that, and speaking of improving, Thunder continues his reign as one of the best players on this team, and starting out week 8, he finds the back of the net.
And Jay Wismon got a little low five right here on the goal. Got to make sure we get those stats in. I want to know who has the most on the season, but just a good carry there to start the game off. Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy, but so far the Warriors had one opportunity and they buried it.
This is certainly a week for individual cadences, and I think that's where Warriors International could step ahead. That's also where Monkey Business needs to continue just the same path they've been on, right? Calm played well last week. They come out with a win. When Thunder and Jay Wismon are playing great, they find Okay, well, hi everybody. How you doing? I'm doing great. Welcome back. It was a little bit of a slight technical difficulty, but we're back. Worse things have happened, and we still got Rocket League. Subi, real quick, we're gonna talk really quickly about Game 1 before we hop in Game 2. Game 1 was a win by Monkey Business. There was a great goal from Com and a win on the faceoff from Aeon. They took Game 1 2-1. Now we're gonna hop into Game 2, and we'll get into it in just a minute. Subi, how you doing? Welcome back.
I'm doing pretty good. That was a nice little break. I'm glad production allowed us to do that because I needed to get some more water anyway. So worked out in my favor, but hopefully all you viewers are getting back in your seats, getting settled back in because match one was quite the showing from both teams. It was a power struggle in midfield between both of them. And for the majority of the match, Warriors International had the lead, and it took about 5 seconds for that to change. Like Spaceman was saying, a quick goal from, I believe it was Com first, right?
Yep.
Spaceman?
He got
Yeah,
an
Com
elbow
first.
shot in the corner, and then Aeon wins the face-off, and Thunder had a precarious hit on the side of the wall, and Aeon just spiked it right into the net. So they took it 2-1 to close out Game 1, and unfortunately, of course, we couldn't see that on stream, but all of a sudden they woke up and Monkey Business looked like they were in complete control, and we're about to actually get into Game 2, which is currently underway. But I want to know what you're thinking. Just you and I were still in the lobby. We were watching the end of Game 1. What were you seeing out of Warriors International? It seemed like they were hot off the start, but they couldn't push back the assault that was Monkey Business.
Well, it's interesting because Monkey Business is one of those teams that can almost like lull you to sleep with their play. You think you have them figured out, and you're like, okay, this isn't too bad. I thought they were super fast. Like, this is supposed to be a team that's like flying off the ceiling, coming off the sidewalls. It's not too bad. And the moment you let your guard down, that's when Monkey Business can strike. And that's exactly what happened in Game 1. Warriors International just got a little too comfortable. And that's all it took for Monkey Business to take control of game number 1. And game number 2, I'm excited to watch it because we get to talk to each other about it. We get to be with all the viewers throughout the whole thing. And it was a really fast game between both of these teams.
It was, and I one of the things that again we talked about in the pregame before everything happened was Com's got to be the guy to step up. He was a scoring machine last week, and all of a sudden he broke the game open by tying it, and then Aeon fed off of that, of course, getting the follow-up goal. Literally the next 6 seconds they went up 2-1, and from there it was just a wipe. So just all around Monkey Business when they wake up and Com gets going, everyone feeds into that, and it's like a machine that moves forward. Warriors International had a couple of good booming clears, but some of their hits were undercommitted. Like they would go for these big hits and no one would follow up. It was kind of just clearing the field from their half, and Monkey Business can read that all day, every day. So we move into Game 2. I'd like to see that change, but the players have had some time to reset. Game 1 slipped away from Warriors International. Now we go into Game 2. Series isn't new. You're still down by 1, but it doesn't matter. It's the end of the day, and you've come into North America and you're ready to put on a show and hopefully play for some money in your spot. But at the end of the day, man, you just got to play your game. Maybe this reset actually helps these players, but it'll be interesting to see what actually happens.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see how Monkey Business continues the game. Do they play a little more relaxed now that they have one game under their belt, or do they keep pedal to the metal? I personally think it's got to be the latter of those two. They have to keep the aggression up because they have their fates in their own hands. If they win, they stay in the rival series. If they lose, they're going to need a lot of help. And you don't want to rely on other teams, but the other team right now is doing what they have to win, and Buddy sinks this shot.
Right over Aeon, had no chance to get to the top shelf, and a good response for Warriors International. Take the first goal of Game 2. And you could say that this little reset helps Warriors to sort of settle down, look over what they did wrong in Game 1, got a bit of practice time, and now they come into the rest of the series. They may have an opportunity to change things, and Jay Wismont with a shot from downtown makes it 2-0.
And you just see the over-commit on the side of Monkey Business. Stokely was rotating back to that boost pad. Paddy had taken a direct angle back to net. Might have been able to save that, but being low on boost is always one of those questionable scenarios that you run through your head, and it's a split-second decision that you need to make, and he chose wrong in that scenario.
All of a sudden, we could be looking at a tie series as another shot comes in. That one's going to be from Monkey Business as Stokely cuts the lead in half with a great read from Tom off the side of the board.
Right off the kickoff, just like Game 1. Warriors International got to get these figured out sooner rather than later. could be a huge potential advantage for Monkey Business moving forward. And see the delay right there. Calm recognizes it. Great IQ coming out from this kid.
Try to cheat on the face-off. I believe that was Buddy who went for it. And he didn't get the touch. And we saw that earlier, right? We saw a player sort of slightly miss the read, and it led to an open net. And all of a sudden, we were praising Warriors International and their ability to strike quickly. And here comes Monkey Business. They've tied the game up at 2 apiece.
I mean, twice now, they've gotten 2 goals in less than 5 seconds. Yep.
This could be number 3. Oh, it goes right off the top of the crossbar. It was a good save, I believe, from Thunder, who was in net. And Jay Wismont's in transition to travel with it, taken away by Monkey Business. It's going to be up for Calm, and Thunder should have a challenge. He doesn't win it, and Calm will push it to the midfield. Buddy handling back to the ceiling, and we're going to carry it down. Still going to hang just a little bit too much. Aeon does get the last touch. Aeon following, and Jay Wismont knocks it away.
That's a good cut there from Buddy. Going up in the air, recognizing Thunder's in a bad spot, not able to get out towards that. Gets in front of that ball, takes it away from Monkey Business, and Buddy just pops this into the corner. Stokely gonna be able to read that perfectly, puts it under the crossbar, and just like that, Monkey Business took the lead.
It was like setting the ball right above the net line and just spiking it down, a perfect serve, and Stokely punishes him in the back of the net. Now 3-2. In about a minute's time, they've scored 3 goals unanswered. And it's a good response after coming out 0-2 to start the game.
That's a beautiful pass and a perfect redirect. Nice and hard on target. 92 miles per hour. Good luck saving this one.
The response from Warriors International and Jay Wismont ties it back up 3-3. We still have 3 minutes to play, Subi. We've had 6 goals. So that'll tell you what this series might turn into. And remember, Monkey Business is up 1-0 in the series after Game 1. And in Game 2, it was a 2-0 lead for Warriors International before Monkey Business made it 3-2, and now we're back tied up after that goal from Jay Wismont. Back to midfield from Thunder, the challenge in contest, no one wins. It's a pass forward and a great shot and an even better save from Calm. He's going to try to carry it over. Buddy does not do it. And back in traffic to the corner before it gets pushed out and knocked away again. Thunder with a hit towards the back wall. Who's going to follow for Warriors International? So far, no one. Buddy cuts it off in rotation, and a demo from Thunder will give them a man advantage, but it's still a 3-3 scoreline, and Calm with the save.
Good challenge there from Thunder. And I noticed the Warriors International on defense there did something. It didn't work out, but I like the idea that they came forth with, and that was trying to bump the third man back from Monkey Business, because the 2 front players are playing very aggressively, and if they can get rid of that third man, it leaves net wide open. And again, the passing play develops, and a goal for Warriors International.
We talked in Game 1 about individual players being the storyline for this match, maybe not so much the team play, but the passing from Warriors International has been damn near flawless through 2 minutes of Game 2. 4-3. Stokely's going to take that off the sidewall. Jay Wismont will bring it down to midfield. Calm intercepts. That one's going to hang. A follow-up. No, Aeon and Stokely are both in the back line. Jay Wismont with another shot, and a double commit in net actually gets the ball back to midfield. Thunder comes in for the challenge. He wins it. And this could be a 3rd goal for Jay Wismont, but into the corner, and Calm will handle it. Carries over 1. Calm by himself. I believe he got the boost steal on top of it. Aeon could not pinch, but it's going to be Stokely trying to make something happen.
Yeah, that was a smart play from Calm there. He realized he had, I believe it was Buddy, right on his tail looking for a demo. If he slows up, he's out of the play. So what does he do? He decides to just rotate through that zone, look for a defender to try and take out, and he keeps himself on the pitch. Oh.
Such easy goal. 5-3 all of a sudden. 2 unanswered goals, then 3 unanswered goals, now 2 unanswered for Warriors International. No one in net, 2 players committed.
Off that back wall. Sorry about that, Spaceman.
No, you're 100% right. And what are you seeing, Subi, out of Monkey Business to start? I mean, they've had 3 quick goals, but since then, it seems like they've committed a couple of times on some bad reads, and it's kind of punished them to a quick 2-goal lead after being up 3-3.
Their rotations are definitely up. Monkey Business that is. And not all three members are getting involved. I'm looking at the scoreboard. Aeon only has 70 points, one shot. So he's got to find a way to get more involved. I know he got robbed out of a save. He had a pretty clutch save there, but still, I know scoreline doesn't reflect everything. But this far into a game, I'd like to see more. There's a missed opportunity by Aeon, and this is going to be another goal. And that's got to be the third one where it's a quick transition and they punish the over-aggression from Monkey Business.
6-3. This game is probably close to finish with only 49 seconds. 3 goals. I mean, we've seen it happen. We've seen Monkey Business do it, but they got to score 3 in a matter of 20 seconds to realistically have a chance. And at this point in the game, with how well Warriors International are playing and how comfortable Thunda and Jay Wismont look, it's going to be very difficult. Let's see if they can do it. 38 seconds. Here comes a carry. Dribbles over one. Jay Wismont can handle that. He does. Earns a bit of boost in the process. Challenged by Aeon on the ceiling and knocked away by Thunda back to midfield, who follows in pursuit. Before Com cuts him off, Aeon is underneath in the goal line, but no one else was home, so they couldn't get an opportunity for it. Stokely trying to slow it down. 18 seconds. This one is all but done, and it looks like we're going to have a tied series at 1-1.
Yeah, pretty much impossible. Aeon finally gets on the board for Monkey Business, but too little, too late, as Warriors International are still up by 2 goals. This is going to be a miracle if this happens, Spaceman.
If they can tie it with 9 seconds, man, I mean, it would be a great way to end the season, to end week 8, but if they don't win that face-off, they're probably not looking at anything special. They overcommit, and it costs them a goal. 3 players passed midfield, but 1 player needed to be left back. No one was there. 7-4 Warriors International after that goal from Buddy.
It's insane. Jay Wismont getting a playmaker on that. Thunda already had a hat trick. Buddy with a playmaker. They are just hopping off this match, and you hope that they've got a little more in the tank. You hope they can wear themselves out and use all their goals and assists here in game number 2.
Well, I think it's safe to say this series could easily go game 4, if not game 5. Well, it's going to go game 4 regardless, but it could go game 5. Who honestly knows? But 2 goals. I mean, look at that. Warriors International. 2 goals for Buddy, 2 for Jay Wismont, a hat trick for Thunda, 3 assists, 1 assist, 4 saves for Jay Wismont. Everyone had more than at least 2 shots. I mean, everyone at Warriors International was getting involved. And you had 4 goals for Monkey Business, but they just got outscored in the end. And I think there was 2 or 3 situations where they triple committed for that ball. They lost the back line, and they had an open net to get scored on. So got to fix that. A week 1 mistake you can't let happen when you're fighting for placings as well as money. We'll see if they can do that in game 3.
Yeah, they absolutely need to fix that going into game number 3. And I can guarantee you McLando is telling them that in comms right now, saying that was the problem. They just were too spaced out for one, and way too far in Warriors International's zone when they were trying to set up offense. You got to keep someone at least at midfield, if not a little further back. All 3 were up, and they were just so spread out that even if they had a passing play that could develop, no one was there to receive it.
Yeah, no, there was nothing. And that just gives credit to Warriors International's passing. I mean, the amount of goals they scored, I think it was the first 3 or 4 goals they had, were just great symmetry and chemistry between everyone on the field. Like, Thunda was setting up for Jay Wismont. Jay Wismont was reading off some of the redirects that came out of Monkey Business. It was just a great all-around effort from Warriors International. And if this team had showed up beginning of the season, I mean, Warriors International had some issues, no doubt, but as everyone does. But if we had seen this type of passing and this type of in-game spatial awareness, I mean, they could have been sitting at top of the pack in North America. It was just about executing. That was really their biggest issue. But now we come into week 8, and everything's on the line, and they're showing up big time.
Yeah, for sure. If this would have been the team we saw all season, things would have been different. But I think you could say that about any team. You could always throw out those shoulda, coulda, woulda. Thunda got the bump on Stokely. Jay Wismont launches it on net. Great game plan from Warriors International. Take the third man out of the equation and open that net right open.
With how much Warriors International has improved and how Thunda has begun to step up, Buddy has begun to find himself other than a defensive player. I feel like, yes, we've talked about Jay Wismon weeks prior, but we haven't really talked about him recently. Like, I feel like people often forget how talented he is with setting up plays on the fly as he spikes that one up and serves it on a gold platter for Buddy, who pushes it to the back of the net.
A great 50-50 there from Jay Wismon, and Buddy, just the right place at the right time, and takes advantage of that by just launching a hard shot on target. Left upper 90, very difficult to defend, and right now Monkey Business starting to scramble, down by 2 goals in the first minute of gameplay, and Tom gets that one away, but there's Honda to keep this pressure up. I'd like to see Monkey Business get a goal soon, and Aeon delivers.
It was a great hit from Stokely and a beautiful pass and redirect from Aeon, and I was gonna say right before they scored, another 2-0 unanswered lead. It's been 3 games straight where Warriors International have scored first. And the passes and the touch from Jay Wismon has been phenomenal. All of a sudden, Aeon evens the game out at just half a piece. Now we're looking at a follow-up. Goes off the top of the crossbar. Stokely slightly touches it forward for Aeon, who now can follow. He's going to get it over Jay Wismon, and this could be an open net. Com didn't have enough power behind the ball. But Stokely staves out. Never mind. Buddy wins the challenge. He's going to follow in. No boost. No problem. Wins it on the side of the wall, falling in. And Thunda and Jay Wismon have to fall back on defense.
I like that touch from Jay Wismon to put it back in the corner and able to get back up that wall to put it towards midfield. Good field awareness from the veteran, but he gets taken out of the equation. Man advantage is gone away and turn the ball over. You need to capitalize on those plays, Spaceman.
When you're fighting for monetary sake at this point, Stevie, you're absolutely right. I mean, as we move up in the ladder, 6th, 5th, and 4th place, it's a difference of 1,000 at least. So you got to start making those plays count when you get them. Thunda falls in. Now he's going to go to the adjacent side, and Stokely will go underneath. Tries to carry it to midfield. Will not be able to do so. A great read from Jay Wismon again. Whether it's passing, whether it's setting up his players, or whether it's just reading the ball, this man has been on fire this series. Another goal. And they're now up 3-1 in Game 3.
And I love the game plan of working the defense from left to right, and it's spreading them so thin that it's just leaving that net wide open, and Monkey Business does not have an answer, and if they do, they haven't implemented it quick enough.
That's why this series was so talked about. We said it's really hard to get a gauge of who's going to come away with it. It's honestly going to have to come down to just everyone working in sync. If you're firing at all cylinders, who knows who will do what. But at this point, I mean, Warriors International are blowing Monkey Business out of the water. I could do nothing but watch it go over his head.
What? Stokely could have attempted to jump at that ball, but it just goes right over his hood.
The only thing I can think is maybe he was expecting to be off-centered a little bit. Maybe he thought that it would have gone maybe to the right side of the post. I don't know. But I think that just is a testament to how quickly Warriors International have been hitting these balls on net. Like, the power behind their shots continues. And they found their accuracy this game has been discussed. Wait. How did he save that?
Through the power of teamwork, they pinched the ball out of the net.
The power of friendship overpowers all evil. I don't know how in the world they did that, but it was a great save. Their only problem is that they can't transition that to offense.
Well, they're just hitting the ball to hit it, and the bump opens the net. Jay Wismon gets his 3rd goal. He had a playmaker in Game 2. Why not a hat trick in Game 3?
Well, I think it's clear which team is performing better in Week 8. I mean, it has not been close. They had one responsive goal from Aeon, but other than that, man, it's just been great reads. The accuracy from Warriors International has been perfect. They're hitting everything, whether it's passing, whether it's getting the ball on net. I mean, another great center. Jay Wismon has been on point with his touches today.
And he has been absolutely on fire and stepping up when his team needed him the most. And that's a good shot from Aeon. You saw Com looking for a defender, but no one was there. He didn't have to do anything on this other than get that challenge right there.
I was a little worried he might have hit it, but no, we're good, we're good. 5-2, a minute 10. Subi, I love to think anything's possible, and we said that a billion times this season, but truly anything is possible, right?
I mean, yes, but no.
Thank you for the expert analysis, Subi. Let's get back to the game. A minute left, 5-2. That's a great shot, Aeon. Okay. Gets a hat trick in game 3. 4 shots, 3 goals. Shooting at 75%. Love to see it. Love doing math in my head. 58 seconds. Only 2 goals separate them. Yeah.
Can I change my answer to, yeah, maybe? Maybe it's possible?
That's totally fine with me, bro. You can do whatever you want. It all works out. It's week 8.
Well, it's week 7, but that's okay.
Hey.
Your time travel.
Yeah. I'm East Coast. I'm always a week behind. Don't worry.
That'd be
Tom's gonna read
anyway,
that
let's
off
get
the
back
board.
to the game.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Cobb's gonna read off the board. Stokely is gonna push it forward. We're gonna fly back. Thunder will grab it. Aeon could not win the challenge. Com does. Aeon gets a bump. Centers it for a teammate before Thunder challenges and wins it away. 2 players commit on the sidewall. And once again, a little bit of an overcommit coming from Monkey Business as they're going to have to fly back. They do grab boost in the process. Jay Wismont winning the challenge. Up for Thunder. Gets it over 1. This should be a follow-up goal. 9 seconds, and we're looking at a 2-1 series lead for Warriors International. And it looks like that'll do it. And Warriors International now at 2-1 in the series. And what was quite a surprise with how quickly they've been scoring and the fact that Monkey Business has not found a way to slow them down just yet.
No, that's the thing is they haven't figured out how to slow them down at all. Just getting goal after goal, and if it's not Thunder, then Jay Wismont, and if it's not Jay Wismont, it's gonna be Buddy. Right now, the Warriors playing their roles perfectly, and Monkey Business just looking completely scattered. It's not looking like they are playing together right now.
No, they absolutely do not. I mean, just across the board, they've fixed some of their open gaps when it comes to defense, but other than that, they are getting blown out in front of the goal line, man. Like, they have just completely lost it. It's all been Warriors International. Jay Wismont's touches have been perfect. His centering on passes has been perfect. He's finding open nets. And, of course, that 1 goal from Aeon that looked a little precarious, but 3 goals for him. At the end of the day, Warriors International are just outscoring Monkey Business straight up. Like, they are just blowing him out of the water. I'm surprised.
It's pretty easy to do when you get 16 shots. Are you kidding me? I didn't even notice that until right now. Like, I'm just looking through the stats like, wait a minute. Jay Wismont had 9 by himself? What is happening right now? Right now, they're just...
Dude, I'm telling you, he's been on fire today. It's only been 3 games, but his centering on touches is perfect. His reads of these passes are perfect. He's setting up Thunder and Buddy. His accuracy on shots is flawless, dude. Like, he is on a different level today.
Oh, look at the bump! And you see Thunder goes out of the screen and he stays in it. Bumps the defender. Clear off the map on that play. Just leaving it right.
And again, they're looking to close the series out 3-1, and plays like that will separate you. When it comes down to crunch time, a good follow-up from Stokely. I know Aeon was going for boost, a missed opportunity again. Here comes a follow-up, and he's in the right place, right time. About to give him a little bit of flack for not challenging that ball, but no worries. A good pass from Stokely sets him up for a goal.
Yeah, that's a beautiful pass from Stokely. Realizing that the defenders have that close post all covered up. Knows Aeon is streaking down the middle of the field and hits him at the top of the box. They tie this game up early, and that's just what they need to do. They cannot allow Warriors International to get a multi-goal lead.
With how well the accuracy has been for Warriors International, it's kind of been the opposite for Monkey Business. It really hasn't been there. They've had to create more opportunities than they've had with just normal shots. And talk about dangerous situations. That ball hung a little too long in the corner. Thunder could not extend it. Jay Wismont serves it up for Buddy, and that's going to send to the sidewall before Stokely will respond. But it seems like Monkey Business is having to work a little bit harder for their goals, Subi. What are you seeing out of them that is creating a little bit of doubt?
It's just that spacing. They're way too spread apart, so the passes are so easily read, and it's very easy to cut off those passing lanes. And I mean, you touched on it, the inaccuracy. The demos coming out from Buddy are just nasty, and Aeon repays the favor, but inaccuracy is not something we're used to when we watch this team play. It's rare to see a team all shooting over 30%, and that's something that Monkey Business has been doing. All 3 members of this team are shooting above 30% this season, but in this matchup, it's just been a little tougher.
Yeah, it absolutely has, and I think that spells a testament to really how these teams play each other. They're very even when it comes to play styles, and so similar with how they approach some of these passes. And it was a good dribble around one. Jay Wismont could not extend it. Thunda did. Back for Buddy, who doesn't have enough boost to go for the play. Jay Wismont has absolutely none, but no problem. I'll take it anyway. That's going to come down hard. Thunda could not extend it. Aeon pushing it into the corner up for one. Jay Wismont sends it back the other way. And another situation where one of these passes was a little too strong for Monkey Business. And they're going to have to try to reel this one in. But a dangerous hit behind, and you leave a player out too far. Aeon couldn't get there in time, and Jay Wismont somehow gets another great touch.
Own goal. Boop. See that orange trail? That went off of a Monkey Business player, and you hate to see it. But just nearing halftime, Warriors International take the lead, and sometimes you'll take those own goals.
Well, those are the things that kill you in games like this with series on the line in this late of the season, right? Like, it's kind of those little morale chippers that when that happens, you just kind of sit in comms like, did we really just let that happen? Like, we can't be doing that. And at this point in the season, Subi, every little bit counts. You need every ball to land your way, and sometimes if it doesn't, it can really spell disaster for teams.
Yeah, they've got plenty of time to work with, and good defensive demo there from Com on Buddy. Buddy was absolutely going to go for that ball, but someone needs to challenge that, and that's the spacing I was talking about, Spaceman. They need to tighten things up. There's way too many unchallenged balls right now for Warriors International.
Back into the corner seems to be the storyline so far for Monkey Business, and as Com cuts it off. Thunda won the challenge, and a follow-up shot just a little too wide. Back the other way, Jay Wismont intercepts on the ceiling over Stokely. Could he get over Aeon? No, Aeon is able to stave off. We'll keep it back into the corner. Again, Thunda with the perfect read over a defender.
So this one was just because of that double commit right there, leaving Stokely in a very poor position, backwards. Looking at Thunda just barreling down at the ball. You're putting him in a terrible spot and asking so much. Now they're chasing 2. They need one very soon if they want a realistic chance of taking Game 4 into overtime.
It was like watching a fadeaway to the back of the net. Just a great play and an even better bump from Monkey Business as they close the gap. Just down by 1 now, but Com gets a bump on Buddy and gets him out of the way. And Stokely says, I'll take it from here.
Been a few bumps now for Com, but good shot from Stokely and good comms coming out from Monkey Business to relay that information that the net's going to be wide open. Just go ahead and shoot that ball on target.
Jay Wismont wins the challenge again. Com wins the response. Back into the corner. Thunda looking to pursue it. It's up for Aeon. Jay Wismont always there on those aerials. There comes a good shot on net. Thunda will stave it off. And back into the corner we go. Ball now in traffic, sitting for Thunda. It's the Warriors International pushing the field over 1, over enough. Buddy with 48 seconds makes it a 2-goal game.
And in the words of Spaceman, that's Bunda with the goal. The combo of Buddy and Thunda. You'll love to see it.
Oh, my good friend Bunda. Back to midfield. Jay Wismont always in the air, ready for it. An even better read from Buddy. Takes it off the corner. It's a great setup, but Stokely was ready and waiting. Not going to happen today. Still a 2-goal game, 30 seconds. if you're Monkey Business, you got to start pushing the field a little bit more. I understand that Jay Wismon's winning those aerials, but maybe you have to start sending players to challenge him, get a little bit more physical. 22 seconds and counting. Ball hanging down. Dangerous shot. It's not going to connect. On again, passing up for Calm with a decent flick. Over one, over two. Calm just jumped off the wall like Spider-Man and threw it to the back of the net.
I thought it was a terrible decision to cut off Stokely there, but Calm, the man with the plan, knew what he was doing, tucks that one inside right post, and they need a goal within 9 seconds to take us to game number 5.
They won the face-off, but a booming clear could shut it out. Oh my goodness, it would have been disastrous, but we could be looking at the end of the series. A 3-1 win for Warriors International is so close. It's kept up for now. Stokely extends it. Over one, no. A great challenge, and that's going to end it, and that will end their season as Warriors International take the series 3-1 in what was incredibly close game 4. We said it would go 4 games, it did, but at the end of the day, Jay Wismont had a phenomenal series. We were, and it's cool. It's cool being wrong, man. It's okay. It happens.
I'll take it.
I'll take it.
I will take it.
But
when we get a series like that was an absolute shootout, it's always fun to watch.
Can we talk about how just well-oiled Warriors International looked this week? Just the passing was on point. The touches were on point from everyone. Jay Wismont was the MVP of this series. And I think that without any exception, Warriors International, especially moving into next season, I think if this team sticks together, they could easily be one of the top contenders in North America.
I definitely agree with you. They definitely started the season off slow, but from what we saw in this matchup, I really like what they're working with.
Yeah, so for Monkey Business to survive, here's what has to happen. 72 PC needs to lose today, and they play Omni Nation coming up next, and Mirage needs to lose. So they've got a lot. They need to have a lot riding on it. Of course, 72 might, but we'll get into that a little bit later when we come back from this break. Hope you guys enjoyed that match. Let us know what you're thinking in Twitch chat, but for now, we're going to throw it to a quick commercial break, and when we return, we got Omni Nation and 72 PC. Don't go anywhere.
Hello and welcome back to the Rival Series. One match down and one upset already. Insane. Warriors take it over Monkey Business. Nobody predicted that at all. Obviously some issues, but the gameplay was still there. Boys, I mean, what happened here? Subi, start us off.
I don't know. That's my legit answer. I have no idea what happened because obviously we predicted something and the exact opposite happened. I said 3-1. I got the wrong team though. But I just have to go back to, I think they were over aggressive in the offensive half, but spaced out too far. So it's like they were over aggressive, but passive with how they were trying to set up team plays. It was just a really weird way to try and go about offense.
Kind of strange there. Spaceman, I heard you breaking down some of the scenarios here. So with this Warriors win, okay, Monkey Business is still in the safety area for now. But if 72 Pin Connector or Mirage win, they're gone. And if Chaos win a couple of games, not even the whole set, but if Chaos wins 2 games against Charlotte, which might actually be more difficult than winning the whole set, the other guys, then Monkey Business is gone. But for now, they're chilling. They're just chilling at the edge of their seat.
Yep.
So it's going to be a little bit rough there. Monkey Business unable to bring it. Were you surprised? Obviously, you were surprised. You put down your prediction, but how surprised were you?
I was very surprised. I didn't think that we would get that strong of a performance from Warriors International. I thought everyone was firing in all cylinders. I said it a couple of times, but you know, just the accuracy from everyone, Jay Wismon especially, I was very, very surprised. And this goes for any sport. I think it's one of the best parts of watching sports or esports in general is when it's like the end of a season and the teams, like you can see them in the locker room, they're like watching other matches and they're waiting because they've done their part and they're hoping that this team wins, but this team loses by this much. And right now, at this point in the season, you need to win so you don't have to worry about this. Monkey Business, all you can do is sit in the locker room and watch the other match and hope to God the 72 PC wins because or that they lose, excuse me. So it's just, you know, at this point, that's what I love about the end of the season is everyone's waiting nervously. Okay, if I do just enough, how much does it really mean? Right now, for them, you had a great season. It ended on a bad note, but just sit back, relax, see how it goes, and maybe you'll get lucky.
Well, as far as hoping for the best, that's what's going to happen right away because that 72 pin connector game is happening now. Omni Nation, the number 2 team, is going to go up against Jacob, Democat, and Lion Blaze here, repping 72 pin connector. So again, if 72 pin connector win this game, then Monkey Business is out of the running and they have to requalify for the Rival Series next time around. That said, unlikely. Percy, Jordan, and Magic Bear have been a treat to watch. 6-2 overall in the season. That puts them number 2 overall. And as of now, they will have to play for their right to be in the RLCS. Subi, We were all wrong last time, but I'm going to ask you here how you expect this next one to go and why. What play styles should we expect out of Omni Nation?
I think we're going to expect the same thing we've seen all season long, and that's crisp rotations, good team play, and Percy taking over the game. I mean, this kid has been phenomenal, shooting 28% on the season, 33 goals. But the big stat that I'm focused on is he's averaging 1 goal per game, which is incredible. But with that being said, I think 72 PC could have the answer. So I'm kind of on both sides. I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know that Jacob wears the foam hat. I got to go with Jacob on this one.
Take him off
okay?
the screen,
We're going to
man.
be rocking
Take
the
him off the
cowboy
screen.
hat
No.
the entire time. Let's
Take him
go
off the screen,
72 PC.
Have some
Oh
in chat.
man.
That's-
All right, Spaceman. Are you as wild as this cowboy over here? Are you thinking 72 pin connector can topple the
I'm
nation?
not. No, I have an Omni Nation jersey around here somewhere I have to find, but if I could hold up right now, I would. I don't want to get up, but no, I'm taking Omni Nation, and here's why. They beat Stromboli last week, and that's good enough for me. They've been playing great all season. 72 PC is the biggest question mark in North America currently. We said that about them coming into the season. They've remained that. Lion Blaze has been an absolutely X factor, no question about it, but at the end of the day, consistency reigns supreme. I can't count on Lion Blaze every single week, even though he has performed. Omni Nation as a team is so much better than 72. I'm taking Omni Nation.
I got to go with Omni Nation here as well. I mean, they're number 2 overall. 72 PC isn't. And although I have
that
a nice
hat squeezing your brain.
it's it's a nice hat. It's a big hat. You know, it's funny because it's a big hat. I got it right over there. If 72 pin connector win, I will come back wearing the hat. However, I do expect to see my hair when we return. You boys, take the game. Let's see how it goes.
All right, Steve, you look like Dirty Dan, but that's a big hat. How you doing there, bud?
You know, I'm not going to lie. I think this thing shrunk over the years. It is definitely squeezing the top of my head. But I don't care. This is Jacob's match. This is do or die time for 72 PC. They're going to get this win to do everything they can to get top 6. And they're going to ruin Omni Nation's party. It's happening right now.
Really? Okay, so you have that much faith in the entirety of 72 PC other than Lion Blaze?
I have faith in Jacob, bro. And I know Lion Blaze
Okay.
and Demo were going to do their parts. And this is going to be Jacob's week.
So what is it about Jacob that you think is going to step up? Not saying
feel
he
like a
can, not
DJ
saying
right
he
now.
hasn't, but you don't look like one, so that's up to you, bro. Oh, man. But at the end of the day, Suvi, we have to just look at the facts. And I think the facts say this one's going to be a lot closer than you and I are predicting. It's not going to be a 3-0 by any stretch. We could be looking at the distance.
Yeah, for sure. I think people are going to be in for a better match than most would expect. The 72 PC team, while they haven't performed as well as they have wanted to, obviously, they surprise a lot of teams every single week.
It always seemed like they had the potential to be a top dog in North America, or they could cause these upsets. But we also have to talk about the facts on the table. Omni Nation came in with a sub at the start of the season. They did great. Then they brought Magic Bear back, and he scores to start the game. He has been the void that they have filled, and he's done it perfectly, man. 1-0 to Omni Nation to start game 1.
Yeah, it was just good pressure there, and the defense fell apart. Jacob should have had the challenge there, I feel like. But, hey, you can't be perfect all the time. And 72 PC trying to keep this offensive pressure up. Nice poke from Lion Blaze, forcing Percy to dive. And, again, if I think 72 PC can do it, it's got to be by taking Percy completely out of the equation. You got to get aggressive because he's going to get shots like that, and Demo goes back and gets that clutch save.
And while things are stalled out for the moment, let's go ahead and just remember what's at stake here. So 72 PC is top 6 with a win in this series and the following. Let's watch this waterfall. Dangerous from Jacob. Gets it away. They need to win here, and they need Mirage or Chaos to tie. Now let's talk about what that exactly means. Omni Nation can come in #1 in North America if they win here and Charlotte Phoenix loses later today. Stromboli can come in #1 if Omni Nation loses in this series and Charlotte Phoenix loses 0-3. So if Omni Nation lose this series and Charlotte Phoenix loses 3-1, Omni Nation, I believe, is still in first place, and we'll make sure that's confirmed from Stacks. As Lion Blaze finds the top shelf, and we talk about him all the time, there's a reason. Carries it on the wall by himself, flicks it over Percy, and ties it up at 1 apiece.
That's just great 1v1 coming down the pitch, staring the defender in the eyes, saying, I dare you to block this, and just keeps that ball on his hood as long as he could and gets a monstrous flick. And there's Lion Blaze again with another shot, but can't find his target. And Demo up early to get that ball to the side wall, and great challenge there, but Percy willing and ready to put this ball back into the orange half.
The aggression so far off the side, and somehow they save it away. Demo and Jacob doing everything in net to keep this at a tie game. Somehow they don't score, and Omni Nation want that one back.
Yeah, there's been a couple opportunities, that one and one more that stands out to me where Omni Nation could possibly be up by 3 goals, or 2 goals rather. Lion Blaze with another flick over a defender, but Jordan not allowing him to carry that into the corner, just booms this forward to Percy, and the hard shot just missing that upper 90. Dangerous infield pass there.
Subi, this might be one of the only weeks we've seen this many well-placed shots that just barely don't find the back of the net, right? Like, they've hovered on the goal line. I'm just surprised with how well the defense has been from every team we've seen today. A good demo,
and this is
from the man himself.
Actually, exactly what 72 PC want. I mean, if Omni Nation are hitting shots, and hitting shots is what Magic Bear is going to do here on this goal, it just takes advantage of the poor positioning from the defense. No one goes up to challenge, and he sees that right post wide open.
You have to get more physical. That's the one thing that 72 PC struggled with in the season, was being physical on the pitch. Jacob changed that a little bit in week 5, and we saw Lion Blaze and Demo feed into that in week 6. But right now, I mean, Omni Nation is just having their way with 72 to start. A dangerous challenge goes back the way of Jordan. He's going to carry off the ceiling. The flick gets it over no one as Lion Blaze staves out. Now we're locked in place. Oh no, Jacob, you broke the rule. And back possibly to midfield. A disappointing finish to that stalemate.
You know, sometimes you just break rules, and that's what rough and tumble and cowboys do, like Jacob with that big cowboy hat on. But that's a poor touch from Lion Blaze. In the demo, oh, it's already off. The headphones can't stay on with that thing, and it squeezes my head. I don't want a headache from that.
Back down. Oh, missed it by Percy. 2 players missed from 72. Magic Bear comes in quietly and takes it away. Demo again will try to flick over one. Does it. No one to follow up, and the defense from Omni Nation strong enough to keep him alive.
Yeah, and like I was saying before, it was a while ago, so let's touch back on it. This is exactly what 72 PC need. They need Omni Nation to be missing their shots if they want to have a chance in this matchup. It's going to be a tough one. Omni Nation, one of, if not the best team in the league, and 72 PC near the bottom. So if Omni Nation's firing on all cylinders, it's going to be a tough ask to have. Good demo there to open things up, but it's going to be a tough ask to have 72 PC battle with a full force Omni Nation.
Well, they look in prime position to take game 1 of the series unless Jacob can pogo this one home. Doesn't look like it. It's going to touch, and it will. Omni Nation take game 1, which was close, but at the end of the day, some great shots from Magic Bear. Percy with a great save, centering all around. 2 goals from Magic Bear, 4 shots, shooting 50%, 2 assists, 2 saves, and 3 shots for Percy. He had one great booming hit that almost led to goal number 3, but at the end of the day, we talked about them having to shut down Percy. Let's talk about Magic Bear's impact on the game. 2 goals on 4 shots. His accuracy was phenomenal to start game 1.
Yeah, it absolutely was, and Percy setting him up beautifully on both goals. But Omni Nation, the scoreline really says it's a lot closer than it truly was. This was all of
Yep.
them all game long, and they controlled midfield. 72 PC couldn't break out, and every single time where it looked like 72 PC might get out of, that thick water or deep water, they sent one towards midfield to get that large boost pad, and it put them down a man. When they need to stay strong, they need to just battle on the defensive line. Even if you're only at 20 boost, you can't leave your teammates like that in a 3v2 situation.
With how mechanically gifted Lion Blaze is at creating opportunities and finding goals, I mean, the guy usually scores first for 72. Do you think that, again, this is a situation where Jacob and Demo need to get extremely physical with Omni Nation? Because even if it just allows Lion Blaze to do his thing, is that what you need to sort of take this momentum back in the series? Or do you think that there's something else here I'm overlooking about 72 and their capabilities?
I think this matchup, I don't think these two teams are equal in terms of mechanical skill. So why don't you try and go with that mental warfare and try and get demos and bumps and just disrupt them and get in their heads, throw them off their game, and upset them. That's how you can change the pace of gameplay.
Yeah. And that's a great hit from Magic Bear, and Lion Blaze will reel it in. Back the other way, Jordan, third main back, gets it to the corner. A demo from Lion could lead to something. Jacob carries over one. Jordan is there. That's going to fall back. Demo did not have boost, but Lion Blaze was transitioning in on the play. So they slow it down on the ceiling. Up for Magic Bear. A pass forward. Could not dunk it home. No problem, though. Numbers are here. And they splits defenders into the corner as Demo flies in. Person slows it down, and Lion Blaze meets it on the sidewall. Jacob could not redirect it. And back down to the ground. We're going to bring this back down to lower altitude for now.
Jacob just made Magic Bear and Percy both jump as he rotated out of the offensive zone. And here comes Jacob again. Nice soft tap, reading where Magic Bear was. I like those types of clears where they're surveying the field and hitting the ball exactly where they need to.
Percy reads it at midfield. Could not get over one. Magic Bear serves it up for Jordan, who passes it back to Magic Bear. Again to Jordan, under one. Not enough. That's going to drop down towards midfield. And Jacob has to watch it hit the top of the crossbar. Again, Omni Nation putting the pressure on early. Still 3 minutes of play. Right over both.
Check this out. Watch Lion Blaze here. Goes for that ball. No boost. He's rotating out. That midfield boost pad just got stolen. He put himself completely out of position. His team's now down 2-3 because he's nowhere to be found, and he's still got zero boost. You gotta battle through those.
Magic Bear has 3 goals in this series. Everyone else still finding themselves on the board or hoping to. Percy should be able to read it. That's a big demo. Percy gets it out. It's going to go down. They bring that ball back into the orange half. Jacob will follow in. Percy reads the challenge and the interception. Tries to get over one, does. That's lift up. Magic Bear's the only one on the back line. It could be red, and it is. Jacob gets the red.
Demo just pokes that one away. He had no boost on that hit. And right now, the difference maker in this game is Omni Nation being able to boost starve 72 PC right now and completely trap them in the orange half.
Well, that's a big boom from Jordan. I believe he took out a player with full boost. So we're going to fly back. Line hanging in the blue half. Tried to set it up for Lion Blaze. It was a pretty unfortunate touch that now leads to a transition opportunity. Jordan takes out another in the process. Physicality from Omni Nation has created a lot of these opportunities. And once again, the intercepts won by Omni Nation have kept the lead at 1-0. There comes Demo with a shot.
Pass.
Demo with a goal. And a good read and a better pass from Jacob.
Woo, goes up high to get that touch and just sends it immediately down. Good read from Demo, good communication between the team, and just like that, game number 2 is all tied up.
Minute 50 counting. And Omni Nation are flying now into the orange half, trying to make it a 2-1 game. Jacob gets it over one. Lion Blaze now in pursuit, extending it to the side of the wall. Over the corner, over one more. No player was there to punch it in. And back the other way. Magic Bear did not get a touch. Burns a bit of boost in the process. Challenge one still by Omni Nation. Never mind, it's a great hit. An even better read as Omni Nation try to slow it down. They've been back on their heels for the last 15 seconds. Demo does get the boost in the process, and Jordan reads it out into the corner before Jacob slows it up for Lion Blaze. Bad flick will not get it to him. Demo serves it for Magic Bear, who reads it off the back of the wall. Over one, trying to dribble over another. Lion Blaze wins it in challenge. Traffic up to the contest, into the ceiling. A demo from Jordan, locked with your own teammate. That's not good. Demo will control it. And Magic Bear sends it back the other way. Hopefully, no. In blue half again. 72 PC are controlling the pace with 50 seconds left. We burned about a minute. It's been all of 72 PC.
Oh, and a whiff by Percy there, but he does get that boost steal, but gets taken off the pitch. But that boost steal is going to come in clutch. Jacob can't get the shot off of that pass. He is going to keep possession here for 72 PC, and Percy misreads that. Looking like they're discombobulated a little bit here as we just went under 30 seconds.
23 and counting. Magic Bear with a hit. Demo with the read. Lion Blaze passes it to Demo. Demo does get bumped in the air. Jacob follows in. Percy now over one. No boost. Unfortunately, Magic Bear with a great touch. Demo saves it away. We could be looking at overtime. And we should be. Unless somehow miraculously 72 BC was able to close it out, but overtime. In our second series of North America, Game 2, who will it go to? Well, the challenge was won by Omni Nation, but 72 BC recover in their own half. Tried to get it over Jordan, it's not going to happen, but he sets it up for Demo. That's going to go off the backboard, and they are double committing on that ball in their own half. They have to be careful here, Subi.
Yeah, I don't know if they're getting a little overconfident here. Jacob, two of them are up. This is a 3v1 situation. Great challenge by Demo, reading the pitch, realizing he's last man back. He has to go, and Jacob gets a 50-50 put on that ball. But Magic Bear is able to keep possession on this side wall. And you're saying it, 72 PC keeping control of the pitch, but here comes Percy.
Oh,
there goes the
my
shot, there
goodness.
goes the goal, and Game 2 in favor of Omni Nation.
Defense is no bueno, mi amigo. You're going to find that one to the back of the net each and every time. Over two. The challenge doesn't work, no problem. Omni Nation close it out in overtime. And they go up in the series 2-0. And when you need Percy to step up, he steps up. A goal for Percy, a goal for Magic Bear, a save and a shot for Jordan, but only 4 shots for 72 PC in what seemed like a 2 or 3 minute stretch of nothing but offense for them. A bit disappointing in Game 2.
Well, and here is my cry to 72 PC. Do something to stop Percy. If you stop Percy, you stop Omni Nation, because so far in this series, Percy has 100% goal participation, whether it's with the goals or assists. He's the one that's creating the offense. If you can somehow take him out of the equation, you're going to slow them down massively, and that has to be the key to success right now for 72 PC.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely right. And at this point, with how Omni Nation is playing, they just look comfortable. Even in overtime, it was a little bit precarious, but they look comfortable. 72 PC had some opportunities. They didn't capitalize, but at the end of the day, man, you're up 2-0. Omni Nation, everything is in your seat. You're feeling good, man. I mean, 72 PC loss bodes well, I believe, for Monkey Business, but at this point, just play your game. Try to continue the same thing that's gotten you here. But Omni Nation just look much, much better on the pitch. Like, they look more comfortable. Their boost deals have been on point. Everything else, it just falls into place. Really impressed with them so far.
I mean, they are up 2-0, but both games finishing 2-1. Not how I would have pictured this, to be honest. I thought Omni Nation could have very easily run away with every single game, but somehow 72 PC are staying alive.
I think their biggest issue, we say that about every team, right? That this is their biggest issue, whether it's defense, whatever. But yes, they've had physicality issues, but execution was the number one thing, right? Like, we looked at Jacob and we said, hey, we need you to execute more on offense. We looked at Demo, we said, we need you to execute more when it comes to passing. Lion Blaze has been basically good, if not great, all season. And 72 PC just came down to execution. That was a big thing we harped on with Charlotte Phoenix. They fixed that. They started executing in overtime more. This is the same thing here. When it comes to getting shots on net, whether or not it's high quality is up to how you play the ball, but they have to find a way to create more opportunities. They've just come down to overtime or crunch time moments where they basically separate themselves from the middle of the pack and they haven't been able to come through. That's been the main issue for them other than physicality, which of course we've talked about. At the end of the day, when you're sitting at this point in the season, you have to be able to find a way to score goals like that. Lion Blaze dribbles it over one. It was a great hit and a great read as Jacob passed it forward.
This shot placement is picture perfect. It couldn't have been an inch more inside without being saved. Great shot placement coming out for the rookie there. And 72 PC up by 1 here in game number 3.
How many times has Lion Blaze opened the game for 72 PC by scoring? And Jacob can follow in and find the second. It was set up by Lion Blaze, brings it to the front of the net, and allows Jacob to come over the top and punch it in.
Just great pressure from 72 PC, up by 2 now, but all done within a minute 10 of gameplay rather, and it's a hard ask to stop Omni Nation for 4 minutes straight.
They almost did it, and they do it. Magic Bear gets the assist from, I believe, Percy. Yep. Percy sets it up. Magic Bear comes in, cleans it out. They cut the lead in half, and all of a sudden, Omni Nation score very quickly.
Yeah, and this is worst case scenario for 72 PC. You should have held on to that lead a lot longer. Now, just 1 goal and not very comfortable. Magic Bear gets the goal line save, but here comes Demo. Puts another shot on target, but easily saved away. And this is going to be dangerous for Lion Blaze. 2v1 situation.
Well, it's Omni Nation who wins it. An even better shot from Percy. He steps up in game 2. He steps up in game 3. Reads it by himself off the board. Lion Blaze wasn't sure what was going to happen, and they tied up with 321. The pedigree of these players and their mechanics is far above average. At this point in the season, man, they're showing you why they're so good.
It took them 30 seconds to do that. They can just score at will, it seems like. This team is so dangerous, so deadly. Here comes Demo off the ceiling, looking for a pass. And Lion Blaze, good catch. Trying to bait out Jordan, but he doesn't fall for it. Gets that challenge. And still, in game number 3, we're about halfway through. Lion Blaze can't get the touch. Percy still has 100% goal participation for Omni Nation.
Well, not when Percy is firing and Magic Bear is firing and Jordan is playing as physical as he is. There's a reason this team is sitting at possibly number 1 in North America, if not for Charlotte Phoenix. They are so good. And their defense proves that, even though they've had a bit of an interesting series at that point, to say the least. Jordan goes up, wins the challenge, wins the save. Magic Bear now falls in. And the Demo from 72 PC opens the window for opportunity. A decent hit from Jacob, but stolen away by Omni Nation. Now they fall back into the orange half.
And still tied up. 72 PC don't need to panic. Just keep playing their gameplay. They're playing smart. You see them always thinking, okay, do I need to rotate back to defense now? You see Demo going, but it's going to be scary. Magic Bear has Percy, and Demo comes off the wall awkward, but he does get that touch. It holds on.
That one's up to the ceiling. Who's going to follow in? It will be 72 PC. Extends it. Jacob is there. Tried to slow it down. Here comes a follow-up from Demo. Magic Bear carries it away over Lion Blaze. He'll grab boost in the process. Now trying to dunk it over one. Magic Bear just destroyed Jacob in his own net. Stole boost, carries it over one, and backhands Jacob out of the net.
I don't think there could have been a smaller hole for that ball to fit through, and somehow Magic Bear able to squeeze it in. Minute and a half to go here. 72 PC chasing 1 goal. Can they spoil Omni Nation's party of trying to get first place and automatically going up to the RLCS?
Let's see what they're able to do. 3-2, a minute left. That one's going to come down. Jacob didn't have enough to get up and reach that same height. Challenge won by 72. Here comes an opportunity for Lion Blaze. It was just good enough. The angle wasn't there. Here comes a follow-up. Lion Blaze does get the bump, but that one's going to hang and burn time. 15 seconds off the clock. 45 and counting. Jordan gets a great booming hit downfield. Percy will read it in the corner. An even better shot from Percy. And Magic Bear now going to win that challenge. Percy backs up to contain it. We've reached 30 seconds of follow-up to put the nail in the coffin, but 72 PC holding on for dear life.
Oh! Clutch save from Demo, but the bump in net leaves it wide open. Jordan gets his first goal of the series, and it couldn't have come at a better time.
He's going to say the same thing. Talk about a clutch goal. You can only imagine what those comms are like right now. I mean, they're probably freaking out. Jordan has a hugely important goal at the end of this game. And 18 seconds separates Omni Nation from, I believe, a first-place finish to automatic qualification to the RLCS.
Well, they still need Charlotte Phoenix to lose.
Yes. So they're close. They've
They're
done
close,
their part.
and exactly. That's the big thing there, is they've done exactly what they needed to do, and doing it in a sweep fashion, you can't ask any more from a team.
No, you can't. It helps when you're doing it 3-0. You don't want second or third tiebreakers coming in. Little wheel jiggle for everyone all aboard. A goal for Jordan, a goal for Percy, 2 on the day for Magic Bear. The dude was on fire. I believe he has 5 goals in this series. 3 saves, 5 saves for Jordan. And Jacob lets us know he will see us next season. We hope so, and we hope that 72 PC stick together. They figure out some of their mistakes, physicality, and execution, and they're able to come back and be a powerhouse that we expected from them this season. But all around, Subi, we've wrapped up our side of North America. How are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling really good. I like to see teams battling it out for first place, coming down to the absolute wire. And I know that when we get off air, I am absolutely going to be throwing this up on the 60-inch, watching the action. I can't wait for that 4th match between Charlotte Phoenix and Chaos, because if I know Chaos, I know they're not just going to lay down. They're going to want to do anything in their power to just spoil that party for Charlotte Phoenix.
That match is literally like the straw of the entire weights that are holed up by Charlotte Phoenix. Like, you pull that straw out and everything falls. So be interested to see how it goes. Subi, it's been a pleasure being able to talk about Rocket League with you, to cast with you. It's been a pleasure to be on Rivals this season. Thank you guys so much for the support and the overwhelming confidence that you have given us. And I know that I've had fun casting with you, Subi, and I'm sure we would love to do it again sometime. But for now, it's been a great series, and we're going to move it to the second half of North America. When we come back, we got 2 new faces, and we also got some other matches. It's Mirage versus RBG at 0-8. We'll see what they can do. We'll watch that hat squeeze Subi's brain. We'll be back after this short break.
Half the day down and half the day to go. North America, some teams still jockeying for position, but welcome back to the Rival Series. And of course, say hello to my illustrious colleagues. We've got Supersonic and Stacks back in the building. Monkey Business, go ahead and actually drop, and then Omni Nation, go ahead and take it. So we've had one upset and one go as predicted. Mirage, RBG, and Charlotte Phoenix and Chaos Esports Club will be the two matches that we end our day with. Looking over towards you, Super, which one, all right, that's a bad question. I was going to say which one sticks out to you, but we're all going to answer match number 4. So I'm going to force you to talk to me about match number 3. RBG are the bottom card. I want you to tell me how they take this victory.
They turn around every stat block that they have somehow. I'm not really certain how they do this. It's not a trying to harp on them or like kick somebody while they're down, but it's just this season is over. It's locked in.
Sure.
You know, they couldn't get things figured out. I don't expect them to get things figured out here today. 10th in goals, 9th in assists, 10th in shooting percentage, and dead last in numbers of goals conceded per match. I just don't see how you get the motivation in the last week when that match can't change your season for you. I just can't see them getting into the headspace that they need to get it done. I'd love to see them come out and try and maybe they come out and they try and show something and say, hey, we do have something in us, and they want to show it, and it's their last opportunity to. If you're going to do it, now's the time. Especially if you're looking for possibly if you guys are changing up rosters, looking for new orgs, things like that, which sometimes happen in these situations. Maybe they do find the motivation to do it, but I don't have the faith myself in that being enough to get something done today.
You know, one thing I do want to mention and give a shout out to is the fact that they just haven't quit. They are still out there. They're still playing. They're
100%.
still going for it, which sounds like a hooray. You're just saying a nice thing to say a nice thing, but not every team sticks it out. So we like to see RBG kind of going for it here. Mirage, on the other hand, in 7th place, tied 4-4. Although at the moment, after the Monkey Business loss and the Omni Nation win, going 3-1, carry the 17. Stacks, you're here, thankfully. Luke, Freshness, and J-Russ. These guys have put together an all-right season. Well, I mean, ask my mother. But Mirage needs to win to have a shot at top 6, and it's still unlikely because they have to depend on a whole bunch of things happening up top. But if Mirage do take this, this is how they work this out. So, Stacks, I turn to you. Mirage, we're likely going to see the win, but what else do they need to get this in their realm?
Well, they would have needed things that have actually already happened and gone their way, oddly enough. They, coming into this week, winning wasn't enough. They would have needed some help from the likes of Warriors International, and they got that help. So the math is actually very simple right now for Mirage. They're in if they win. If they don't win, though, if they don't win, then you start to open Pandora's box a little bit, because a loss for them eliminates eliminates them, and it secures Warriors International in the top 6. So while Warriors helped them out, now they need to help themselves out here.
I think they just might, but we'll officially lock it on down here. Supersonic. You know, I haven't said this all season, so I've got to go for it, but I must ask you a question. Who wins this one?
By the powers bestowed upon me and my great stash, I'm gonna go with Mirage. The most conceded goals on RBG side and the highest shooting, highest shots per game average for a team on this side is Mirage. Those two things, when placed together, equate to the scales tipping very favorably in the side of on the side of Mirage.
Stacks, are you going to go against the grain and go for the RBG?
I would absolutely love to see RBG finish the season on a win because I like these guys. They stayed together. They made that decision very early on from last season, which also didn't go well. And this season somehow went worse for them. But I got Mirage here. Like, I am a little worried. I got my boy Luke out here tweeting out how he wants to, like, change the play-in format. And like, hey, you just win. You don't got to worry about the play-in format. You just worry about winning this game here. But yeah, I got Mirage here for a myriad of reasons. They're the better team on paper. They've done it all season long. Their season was over last week with 10 seconds left against Monkey Business, and they came back and swept 3 games in a row after that. So I got them.
Yeah, I have Mirage here as well. 4-4 and number 7. And I think out of all 20 teams that we cover, because we do 2 leagues, both NA and EU, out of all 20 teams, Mirage, I think, is the team that is most better than their record. It's a good team. And I think they take this one. Either way, the teams will take the field. Supersonic and Stacks bring us to business.
Well, you look at this Mirage team, Supersonic, and we thought a little while back when they knocked out, when they beat, what was it? They beat Stromboli, right? When Stromboli looked completely untouchable, nobody's going to beat this team. They did, and we thought that was their signature win. Until last week on the B stream, when, as I mentioned, their season was over, done, 10 seconds left against Monkey Business. They're about to get swept, and they come up with the most miraculous comeback I've ever seen in the rival series over 3 games. Feels like a team of destiny at this point.
Yeah, it absolutely feels like a team that can show up when they absolutely have to. Really, had they lost that Stromboli series, most likely that was the season, right? You lose to Stromboli, and then you take an 0-3 to Chaos and a 1-3 to Ablev. You probably don't have the motivation to rally at that point and get that 3-2 win when you to counter sweep Monkey Business. So that's probably the deciding moment, is that Stromboli match. And that also, to me, speaks volumes to them, because that was when we saw them come in with an absolute game plan, complete change-up. And loved watching that happen. We asked for Luke to show up. Luke showed up. Everything went right for them. They executed their plan flawlessly, but we haven't seen them really play that motivated or that well with that type of plan since. And I'd love to see more of that Mirage. That Mirage that week was amazing.
Well, they're going to try to keep RBG winless on the season. Have them finish out their campaign 0-9. If Mirage do that, they will secure a spot in the top 6. It really is that simple. The shot's going to be off the mark from Tool. Tool can center, though. He's got Bambi over there, and he'll take the shot, and Tool scores first.
No need to center. If you can just hit the ball into the open net. Tool coming out of the corner there to actually hit the inside angle and catch that ball back into the net.
So it is. The first goal belongs to RBG. And now start to kind of worry just a little bit about what is in the tank. Well, no, I mean, you start to worry a little bit about, is Mirage going to kind of be that team that, okay, we're waiting for something to go wrong, now it has. Do they start to slump their shoulders, or do they answer back immediately? Because again, they went from a team that was out of it just about 6 days ago to, okay, we got a shot at this. And now their fate is in their hands when it's finally game time.
seeing which way it goes, if they are that team or not. I still have faith that they're going to figure this one out here in this match. I'm not expecting this one to go the distance to game 5s, but I wasn't necessarily expecting them to come into that match against Monkey Business and have to do a counter sweep either. So they've proven me wrong before.
This ball will be thrown up to the side, and it is J-Russ clearing off the backboard. Quick transition for Mirage, and there is the answer. It is Luke, who has had a stellar second half to the season.
Yeah, Luke's somebody that we were looking for more out of the whole season. Finally starts doing so. Slight bump there in the goal. I actually didn't catch that at the time that it was scored the first time, but there was a bump, I believe, onto Bambi in the net, forcing him to continue his path into the back and into the ceiling, where he's just unable to get back for that, allowing Luke that easy follow-through to get that goal.
Pass one as he beats J-Russ. Can this ball get centered? No. Bambi taken away from the play for a moment. Another good challenge by Tool. And Portland is beaten at the end, so RBG has to reset. Again, the former Zookeepers who made that decision so early on after the end of last season. They wanted to stick together, and it worked out a little bit more like Baguette Squad than it did, say, BDS. With BDS going #1 in the league earlier in Europe.
Yeah, that staying together definitely
That's got to be cleared away.
Definitely had a different ring to it on the BDS side than it has so far for RBG. Unfortunately, they have not been able to piece their season together to make an improvement.
This ball will roll out. It should be Portlets, and he took a little too long to get there, so ball ends up deep in the RBG zone again. Now another chance for Tool. High angle shot's going to be set away by Freshness. Back out in front, and here comes Mirage, but only for a moment. That demo, though, by Luke, boy, that takes out Bambi, and that kills anything RBG had going on that half of the field. Now Portlet with a minute plus has to reset for RBG. They have struggled in this type of game all season. They have just lacked that final strike to push ahead in the closing minutes. Normally, they are the team that gives up a goal with, 40, 30 seconds left. And then all the momentum, the wind just comes right out of their sails. Like it could here. J-Russ for Freshness. And Luke got spun out, so he's got to retreat.
Yeah, unfortunate situation there. Had Luke been able to get up and off the ground, not got flipped around quite that way, or even maybe half flipped through it to try and get his momentum going forward. I think he was too far or too close to the net to be able to do so. That would have been a beautiful pass into a shot opportunity there for him.
Challenged out of the corner with 15 to go. Nothing doing just yet. Neither team has had a great look. If Mirage had one about 30 seconds ago, it was foiled by a bump. Last chance for RBG. That doesn't go through. We're going to go to overtime in game 1. Now J-Russ. Blocked here, and these two teams, they've played plenty of overtimes throughout this season. Raj has been A-OK. Got a chance here, but that's going to be wide. Bambi lobbing another one in. J-Russ going to bring it right back downfield. RBG has not been able to get across that center line much in the last, say, 2 minutes of gameplay. Bambi misses this. And here comes Mirage again. Trying to do it again in overtime. Not yet, as that ball is going to be cleared away as well.
Oh, open goal opportunity there. Going to be missed by Luke. He definitely wants to have another shot at that one. And I 100% agree with you. They haven't been able to really get anything going. They're getting down there and they're getting into the opponent's half, but they're not making anything of it. They're just kind of getting there, bringing the ball down and dropping it off, and then watching the ball turn back the other way, and that shot is wide.
Another one lobbed up. That's going to be set all the way across. Freshness is waiting, and his shot's blocked away as well. Luke will try his luck. Does he have the touch he needs? No, that's swatted away by Bambi. And here they go. Quickly back the other way, and RBG takes it in OT.
What happened here with Mirage? J-Russ, the third man, coming out of the box, really pressing up, playing, overextending quite a bit, and unfortunately not able to get up to the ball in time, and just leaves the net open behind him. And those are those little mistakes that we see that happen in the middle of the pack in the bottom half that we don't watch occur quite as often with our teams in the upper end of the brackets or in the upper end of the league play.
So it does go 2-1 in overtime to RBG. And for Mirage, now I ask the question again. What does the pressure feel like for them now, Supersonic? Because they had this game that, again, on paper, like it's supposed to be a walk in the park, but we saw that with Espanyol earlier. It was not the breeze it was supposed to be against Baguette Squad. Is there a little doubt creeping into the back of their minds, do you think?
Absolutely. Absolutely. At this point, this is the moment where that leader on your team, that voice on your team, it's that guy in the locker room that gets you going again at halftime when you've had a bad play or something's going wrong, that needs to turn this around for them quickly. If you start letting that doubt seep in and you focus on that, it's going to be a detriment to your play. They need to get that turned around. Somebody on that team needs to figure out what's going wrong, because if you go down 2, now it's a really bad situation. Yeah. So they need to rally here. They can't let this go where they're down 2.
Goals from Bambi and Tool for RBG carry them to victory in game 1. Let's see what the teams have for an encore. Mirage, remember, have to win this series to secure their spot in top 6. They lose, they cannot get any help from anybody else. Monkey Business, of course, would love to see it. It is Monkey Business. After all that has happened, they need RBG to get their first win of the season to stay alive.
Yeah, I mean, Monkey Business gets kept alive here, and it comes via a team that was what's the friend 0-8, and they're looking to be 1-8 now. They're trying to oust their friend Owen from the island. They're throwing this guy out. They're voting him off. They are attempting to say, no, we can win games. This season just wasn't quite what we wanted.
Well, if this keeps up, Luke will have to worry about what the format is for the play-in tournament next season. Here's Freshness, blocked by Bambi. Back downfield, this will go. And again, more possession for RBG. Looked like a much different team this time around. They were a little bit worried before this series of whether or not Portland would be able to play. He had some internet issues earlier, but he is playing. They do not need to use their sub, who scored a goal in 3 games previously. This will be set away. And now to be J-Russ trying to collect this. Instead, it's Tool who somehow comes out of that crowd with the ball. Now Freshness over one, but nobody else downfield, so he has to try and delay for his teammates to get there, and it doesn't work out. Forklet keeps that at the center line, and all Freshness can do is dump it back in to be sent away. That miss by Bambi could have been costly, but J-Russ couldn't stay with the ball. It has not been a pretty series, one way or the other, but first game did go to overtime. It was Bambi who ended that OT for RBG. And ultimately, it doesn't matter how pretty the game is. What matters is who wins and loses. That was RBG, and they lead right now with 3 minutes left in game 2.
Yeah, so far the look on the Mirage side has definitely left a lot to be desired. There's a ton of times that we've seen, like right here, J-Russ and Luke right alongside each other up against the sidewall. They're not getting spread out. They don't have field presence. They don't have that coverage area going for them the whole time because they continually end up in these situations where one guy's coming out of the corner and the other one dives into the sidewall and starts coming through that same corner with them. They need to get some level of rotation going. Right now, it feels like 3 individual players on the team and not a squad.
J. Russ trying to tie the game. Dish off to Freshness, and he will.
And there's a little bit of team play for you. J. Russ with a beautiful catch and carry over here. Nice release onto the nose of Freshness, and he just puts that one away. Nice fast 69 miles per hour.
2.5 to go, a little bit less. What does RBG have for an answer this time? J. Russ lobbing one netward that Porklet has to deal with, and he hasn't kept possession, instead handed it off to Luke. Freshness will turn. Porklet is there ahead of him, though. This should be a good pass up to Luke. It is, and a blistering shot. No, but the follow-up from J. Russ. That's the team play we've been waiting for out of Mirage.
That's the team play plus a little bit of luck. We're going to call that the 3.5 player. Lady Luck going to get involved there as that ball bounces off that left post but comes straight back out into J. Russ as he's able to just bury it in the back of the net. This is exactly what Mirage needs to get that motivation going and start getting some plays.
Another big drive. Luke went deep into the net and could not get out in time. Bambi strikes again.
This is just bad motion there from Luke as he goes way too deep and isn't turned around. He should have quick turned there in the corner, and he kind of lazily got himself turned back around to go for that ball.
Well, we're right back to where we were not too long ago, all tied up. J. Russ gives this away to Tool. Tool needs one more touch or a bump on Joe. That'll work as well. Luke should have this ball away, but instead he put it right on to Bambi. And J. Russ has been left in an awkward spot. Porklet bearing down on him. Now Tool. This will get back out in front. Nobody seems to be going for it, so Luke will have to take over. I don't think Luke wanted to be the one who had to play that ball, but everybody else abandoned ship. They went for boost, or they went for some other positioning. That left him in a tough spot. Now Tool wants that one back because it's nowhere near the net.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Luke was expecting Freshness. I think it was Freshness to cut across the mid and was right underneath the ball. I think he was expecting him to catch and pick that ball up and take it down the field, and then he was going to come in to be that second man. And Freshness just went ahead and kept on driving. Didn't even look twice at that ball.
This will drop as far as Porklet. He's going to helplessly fall from the ceiling. He's out of the play, but this ball goes all the way off to the corner. It gives everybody time to reset. Bambi is trying to force his way through the crowd. A lot of cars, all 3 of Mirage, jumbled up on the side, but they do not get punished. Now J. Russ, he threads the needle to give Mirage the lead.
J. Russ going to put that one away. High shot angle here. Going to catch it dead center of the bottom of the chassis. Puts it away. Got to feel good about getting that one after missing the opportunity before. I do believe he was the one that took the shot when Luke came through and got a bump in the goal, had an open net, and ended up just putting it high into the backboard, which gave RBG time to get back.
That was also not good defense after a couple misses opening things up. They have to scramble now. RBG, 8 seconds to tie the game. Porklet's out of the play as he flipped up near the ceiling. Nobody forward for that ball. And Freshness should just kill it here. He does. Boy, that seems inexplicable there, Supersonic. When you're down, you hear that countdown, you've got gut bodies forward. You can't be that far back, right?
Oh, you can't be that far back, and the other thing is you saw that pressure kind of get to Porklet. He was coming off the ceiling. He ended up not timing his jump right. Instead, he ends up just kind of side flipping and hanging out in the air, which just gave that ball away. It definitely, the pressure felt like it got to them there in those final moments when they realized that they were down a goal, and sometimes that's that mental game. It gets to you, you let it set in, and unfortunately, it got the better of them there at the end of that match.
So let's recap where we're at here. 1 game apiece between Mirage and RBG Esports. The game doesn't mean anything for RBG. They are going to go number 10, no matter what happens from here. But Mirage, they win this series, not only do they go into the top 6, but they would also knock out, I believe, Monkey Business. And after that, if memory serves me correct, Warriors International would need Chaos to win. So that's what Mirage is playing for right now. Secure their spot in the top 6. Avoid the rival series play-in next season. Meanwhile, if RBG does manage to pull this out here, all of a sudden, Monkey Business is back in business. They would still be alive to stay in the top 6. So too would Warriors International. So there's a lot of moving pieces here as we close out this season with just a match and a half remaining.
Yeah, NA has definitely been a bit of a cluster there, and a lot of moving pieces here, kind of keeping teams alive, or who's going to make it and who's not. I'm glad that you're here, man. I know I've said it a couple times today, but I appreciate you being here to do all those moving pieces for me, because that's just not where my brain works unless I'm sitting down with paper, and unless everybody wants to watch me sit here and like jot on a piece of paper. I'm thankful for you.
Well, we do have kind of an extended break here going into game 3. We're going to get another lobby up for the players, make sure they are all ready to go. So while they test that out, we'll talk about a little bit about what's coming up next too. Our final match of North America Supersonic. Chaos Esports, they don't care about this match at all, really. They know, well, it kind of matters. If they win 2 games in that series, they'll knock out Monkey Business. But in all likelihood, they're going to be in a position where they absolutely need to win that series against Chaos. Against Charlotte. And Charlotte, of course, they do need to win that series because Omni was victorious earlier. So still a lot to be determined here in the last upwards of potentially 8 games in North America. But the short version is, if Charlotte wins the next series, they go number 1. And if they lose, it'll be Omni going directly to the RLCS after the great second half of the season they've had.
Yeah, there's a bunch going on there. Sorry, I was getting myself into that new lobby.
Yeah.
A ton going on between those second 2 again. And I liked your other coming in on that, though. Chaos is the only team that's going to beat Chaos. It's them against themselves. What do you mean? They don't have to beat Charlotte. They just need to beat themselves.
Well, you know what? There's probably is a lot to that, because it feels like at times their worst enemy has been themselves. But
Yes.
we go back to this match here and everything that's on the line, of course. We mentioned Mirage. They win, they're in. They lose, they're out. RBG, result doesn't matter to them, but you know that they are going to bring it. They have fought all season long. They have battled. They've battled. They've had a lot of things not go their way, and it has been very frustrating on their part, I'm sure. But it would be so great for them to go out on a W here and just have something good going for them as they finish out this season.
Yeah, going out anywhere and having something go your way, especially at the end of the season, after the season that they've had, and kind of doing yes, we can play at this level, and getting a win here against a team that is scheduled to beat you, in a team where they are motivated more than they're ever going to be to get this win. It does say something at the end of your season. No, you're not going to do better than 10th. Unfortunately, that is the situation. But it has to feel good at the end to at least close out with a win, show that you can get that done, and then go back and regroup. Not sure if you decide to stay together still or not, but having something to go off of and build off of if you do choose to going into the next season is much better than ending 0-9 and coming in the next season with, can we even do this? Are we really going to do this again?
And give these guys a lot of credit too. You know, so often you see a team have this kind of a record. At some point during the season, you hear about somebody's just not caring. Maybe they're not even in comms, or they just start pointing fingers. You have not heard that from this RBG squad, as Porklet makes the save there, keeps them scoreless in game number 1. And J-Rust now will lob one up, take this himself, got the reset, but couldn't put it on target.
Yeah, I 100% agree. There are those storylines. They existed this season, not on the NA side, but we had it happen on the EU side, where a team players no longer a part of a team or no longer caring, and it just as if you're doing this and you're showing up and you're trying to make something out of this in video games, I can tell you one thing: being somebody that just quits regardless of situation, giving up and leaving your team and hanging them out to dry, typically doesn't bode very well for players going forward.
Well, shout out to Ben over on Baguette Squad. He is not going to be a sub for very long. I can assure you that.
No.
Porklet trying to carry this through in front. RBG did get a demo in the net, but it didn't open anything up. They got a chance here. Bambi trying to score. Doesn't work out, but they do have the pressure on. Porklet over to Tool. Needs one more touch.
Ooh.
And he's got it down and in.
Does he even have any boost left? Is this just I'm here, convenience sake? No, he definitely boosted into that one. It looked like he was just falling from the angle I had. I thought he just fell on the ball and it happened to go. That was definitely intentional. Great second touch from Tool to put that one away.
Working on fumes at that point, but falling with style works out. Now Bambi. RBG has scored the first goal in all 3 games. We are tied 1 game apiece. An overtime winner from Bambi. It's Tool who makes the save here. He got bumped away, and Bambi will get there just ahead of J-Rush. Porklet, full tank of boost. Got a center here, instead put a shot on, and Luke is there to shut it down. Can RBG hold this lead? They have not been able to hold a lead yet. J-Rush denied, and it will be Tool bringing one by Freshness, who he kind of hung himself up on the side. This will get over to Bambi off the corner, but Porklet turns away, as does Tool. Nobody diving in for that play. RBG playing very conservative with the 1-goal lead. That doesn't necessarily bode well for teams. Sometimes if you've got a stellar defense, you can lock a team down, Supersonic, but when you're against a team like Mirage who can score as quickly as they can, something's eventually going to give.
Well, you would think that, but currently right now, over the past 2 games, Mirage has actually been stuck in the defensive half about 70% of the match. RBG has actually had control of the pace of this game, so as long as they don't break that third man and he doesn't overcommit, which right here it looks like Porklet is deciding to stay back already. He's playing that third man role well. They could potentially keep Mirage just stuck on their half.
Oh, that challenge by Tool's gonna go in. They tried to play him like a fiddle and he burned him.
Third man, we were just talking about it. This third man was actually sitting out wide rather than dead center. If you're going to be up that far, you better be middle of the field so you can make a play on a ball like that. You can't be out on the sides trying to grab boost in a moment where a challenge is going down.
So now a 2-goal lead, the biggest of the series for RBG. And they hold this with less than a minute left. J-Russ couldn't keep control, so Porklet will come in and slow things down. That is not something Mirage can afford. Luke with a drive, and almost getting there was Tool, but they're back within 1.
Able to just sneak it in off that cheeky pinch from J-Russ out into the mid. Tool almost gets it, just cannot get behind it, catches it from the side, and that forward momentum continues its way into the net.
Well, the comeback kings are at it again. Do they have yet another up their sleeve? Here goes Freshness, wide turn. Over towards Luke and cut out well by Tool. 30 seconds. J-Russ out of boost, so he can't chase this down. Bambi needs one more to get over Joe, and he does. So now Tool burn a little more time off. Luke did well, though, to get this towards J-Russ, though I don't think they intended to come together like that. Freshness out towards Luke, but it's bombed away again. J-Russ got to scramble all the way back to give them one last chance with 5 seconds left. Gonna need that midfield boost. J-Russ did get it, but Tool should let this go, and he does not. So with 0 on the clock, do they have any more heroics? No, they do not. After that last stop, RBG up 2-1 in the series.
RBG is controlling the pace of this game. Now, in that second match, they did end up losing to Mirage, but in terms of field presence, number of shots, I'd have to go back and confirm shots. They definitely won on shots here. They're controlling the pace of the game. They're controlling the midfield. They're not allowing Mirage to make any real plays coming out of their half of the field. The majority of the time, they're getting forced into situations where they're kind of having to try and take it to the sidewall, and sometimes you turn it into a pinch from J. Russ and get something out of it. But the majority of the time, they're bombing them off the sidewall or bombing them from back and just booming them back down the field and just returning the ball back to RBG, and they make another approach. Now, they're not shooting very hot. They don't have a high shooting percentage. They haven't all season. But when you let them outshoot you 10-6, eventually they're going to score one.
Yeah, something's got to give eventually, right? And it has. Mirage find themselves now, after last week, they could not have been any more dead with 10 seconds, 15 seconds left in Game 3 against Monkey Business. And all of a sudden, they come into this match with a chance to get into the top 6, and all the cards have fallen into place perfectly for them. And now, against RBG of all teams, they need to win 2 in a row to save their season once again. 5 more minutes on the clock at Utopia Coliseum. Here we go, Mirage. What do you got? Luke trying to go over Tool.
How upset do you get if you lose this series to RBG and you're just like, boys, you had 10th no matter what. Just leave us alone. Let us stay in the league. Like, I'm hoping that none of these guys are real close friends, because this is how you ruin a friendship. Freshness, he's going to open this one up as he puts this one away back behind Porklet. Bambi coming in with a flip there in the corner, challenging. I have no idea what. Should have been turning for net. And that shot going to go into a very, very vacant. I can speak. I swear I can. Open net there. Words are hard.
Yeah, right. Well, it'll be Luke. This is the first time that Mirage has scored first in a game, but Luke can't convert there to double the lead. Now J. Russ, he's got a full tank. Can't do anything with it. Luke will try his luck, and Tool should be all over this play, and he is. It'll be on Mirage to send off kind of a light volley here, though Bambi... Oh, he had a chance. Oh, that pinballs around off of Portland, and then Tool somehow finds the mark.
Man, what a billiard shot here as it just rebounds everywhere like it's a break. Tool able to pick that one up at the last second, though, and just squeezes it into that upper 90.
This is great from Tool. Make that 5 goals in the series. I don't think a single one of them's been pretty, but it has been effective. They will take anything they can get. That leads all
ugly goal is
worth, of course.
Ugly goal is worth the same as a...
Yeah, an ugly goal is absolutely worth the same as the double touch that ends up on the highlight reel. Big drive right here from Luke. That's saved away by Tool. He put it right on it. This will drop straight down. Tool just pops it away. And now it will be Luke to throw one across. Freshness, second touch, maybe, yes. But that's going to bounce up and away. J. Russ will not have a shot.
Could have been a nice bounce there had it actually ceilinged out. As a good placement, good attempt from Freshness. Just didn't quite get enough power behind it to get it back down to a player to make use of.
Well, you got to like what you're seeing, though, out of Mirage on the offensive end. So many times we see players take these kind of soft, nothing happening shots. They're easy to save. You don't even have to be in position initially because it's just a little floater that you have forever to react to. Not the case with Mirage in this game. There have been some belters thrown right at the RBG defense. And unfortunately for Mirage, it has been right at the defense. Otherwise, this could be 3-1.
Yeah, the other side of that is when they're not taking the shot, they're still putting heat on the ball. I was talking about how trying to get that to the ceiling, get it to bounce down. They're doing it a lot, and they're bringing it up across the backboard and kind of smacking it into the ceiling there. And when they're doing that, it is just destroying the camera of that defender. That camera is whipping up, whipping down, left and right, and that's a great way to disorient a player in the net.
By the way, just because I love seeing stats like this, Tool came into this series averaging 0.36 goals per game. By the way, he's got 5 in this series alone. Here's Tool looking for his 6th, but that's going to go fluttering off to the side. Porklet now. Nobody in front for that ball. Campy does cut this off. And he does have RBG going the right way yet again. Tool trying to go underneath the defense. But it looked like Freshness just got a piece. Now J-Russ lobbing one up to the backboard for himself. Got a shot off, but Tool will send it away. It's right down the middle. And Freshness will take control. Luke will take a shot on this time, and after so many times where they were trying to center off the backboard, nobody reacts in time to the shot.
Yeah, every single time they've come in from that sidewall so far, there hasn't been a shot from that angle. Mirage has really been opting to take that ball up and through the corner, even into heavy traffic, to try and get passes off the ceiling or create a pass off that back wall and down. And this time, Luke decides, you know what, we haven't tried this yet. I'm going to throw one at the net. I'm going to go in and bomb this guy in the net real quick. And coming through with the shot is J-Russ as the demo comes through on Bambi.
And Mirage are in great position now with 1:10 left to force Game 5 and again prolong their season. They have milked this for all it's worth up to this point. Tool gets ahead of Freshness there, but eats a demo for his efforts. And Porkler was trying to pinch one down in front. There is still possession for RBG, but not for long. And there is no hope left for RBG in Game 4.
I mean, there's a tiny bit, but it's basically gone at this point. RBG open net, you can see that they're starting to kind of play ahead of themselves. They're picking up too much speed on the offensive half, and they're not getting back. They're not controlling the pace of this game like they did in the last 2. Even though they did lose one of those 2, they really did control the pacing, and this one has gone all Mirage's way since the beginning.
One thing that's very different in this game compared to previous games in this series, Supersonic, Porklet has not been nearly involved as much as in the past. And I think that really hampers RBG. This is probably the most he's been involved. This is about 30 seconds here as he watches the ball go right by him. Freshness thought about committing with J-Russ, but instead wisely turns back with the lead. And RBG are just going to go through the motions here in the final 15 seconds and regroup for game number 5, where they will still have a chance to spoil the season of Mirage. Luke looking for one for the road, and why not pad the stats just a little bit more.
It's your last chance to do so. Take advantage of it.
That one looks good. That's a great read, too, on that incoming challenge. And so now with his 4th goal of the series, he can walk off into game 5, where again, the pressure's still on Mirage. They must win. They're the team with everything to lose in this series, but they didn't lose it here.
They didn't lose it here, but so far this has gone 1-2, 1-2.
Yep.
We're looking at 1 again. Does RBG pull the upset off? If they're gonna do it, now's the time.
Well, yeah, it had been all 1-goal games up to this point, and the only reason this is a 1-goal game now is because RBG scored 1 goal. It was a blowout by, I guess, mathematical standards for Mirage, but they had to pull away late, and at that point, RBG is throwing caution into the wind anyways to try and get back into the game. So while you look at that scoreline and you say, okay, Mirage finally put it together, not so much. This was still a battle for a good 3 minutes or so.
They put it together for the first 3.5 minutes there. The back minute and a half was really just kind of desperation from RBG, which then turned into a couple extra goals on the other end. Not really indicative of what I'm expecting to see in the next match. They're clearly here to play. I don't expect them to say, we're in game 5, it's over now. They're still in it. So I expect RBG to show up and still play this match exactly as such. They are in it.
the odd games in this series have belonged to RBG. This, by the way, the third time that they have played a Game 5. They have lost, obviously, the previous two. One of them to Omni Nation. Go figure. Here we are, J-Russ. Blocked by Porklet. Ball's not out as Luke drops it right back into the zone, and that's not good from Bambi. It forces Porklet back into the net. It's pretty ugly defensively right now. J-Russ going to try to drop one down for Luke, and he will score!
The defensive rotation was blown out. The second Bambi made that touchdown in front of his net, forcing Tool to come back for that ball. No one had any idea of what number they were in the rotation. Nobody had any idea of where they needed to go, and it just turned into chaos at the goal line, which allowed Luke to just come in and make a really nice soft touch into that back post.
By the way, Superstar, you want to just take a guess the other team that RBG took to Game 5?
I wouldn't need to guess. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't need to guess. I have this handy dandy thing on my other monitor that has all of those lines for me. So also, guess who else they took to Game 5?
Omni Nation, yes, and Mirage. But right now, Mirage is taking them to the woodshed. 2 goals in 45 seconds. And this is the Mirage we thought we were going to see coming into this game, into this series. Here is Luke. Taken away by Bambi. J-Russ is right there in midfield. That thwarts RBG again. They remain stuck deep in their own zone for a moment, but a quick counterattack. It is Bambi getting back on the board.
Those are the types of transitional goals that you love to see. Tool bangs one out there, and Bambi, all the faith in the world that he's going to connect with that as he just stretches for it and pounds it home.
They lost to Omni. They lost to Stromboli in 5. They're trying to change their fortunes in their final game of Season 9. J-Russ going to drop one down, and Tool is right there, so he can make a quick turn. But that was not the touch he needed. J-Russ was all over it. Luke cuts this off, but all that does is give it right back to Bambi. This is awkward for J-Russ after the miss. And a demo. Things are looking up for RBG, but nobody committed on the attack. Oh, that's one that's going to be costly if they lose by 1 goal, because that's one at this level, if you commit the cars forward, you absolutely should have a goal, and now they're double committing on the defensive end. It's like they're double committing when they obviously shouldn't be, but they're not committing anybody when they should.
Yeah, you know, maybe it's a mind game. We don't know. I don't know what's going on, what the comms are, but it's definitely not a typical game strategy to get things done. Double commit on the ball. Double commit on the ball there. Not sure what Tool was thinking coming across. He had no business being on that ball.
And yet, after all this, they might tie the game. No. One stop made by the crossbar, another clear made by J-Russ. Boy, it is getting testy on the defensive end for Mirage, for both teams really, but Mirage is the team that can't afford to have mistakes like this. As J-Russ scrambles back, he'll get his own corner boost. But now this will be Porklet. A little bit of communication there, it looked like, for RBG. But now they've got to scramble back. Somebody's got to get boost. Nobody comes forward. So that allows them to set this play up, and Mirage almost added to their lead.
It does feel like Mirage is kind of booming the ball back down the field quite a bit here, which is what's keeping RBG in this series. They're in the lead. I'd like to see them start taking possession of the ball more and trying to move it down the field with a little bit of thought and care rather than just smacking it down. I get that you're looking for a quick transitional goal, but if you're bombing it every time, that second man has to be perfect on connecting.
That's a good job by Bambi to get the ball out of the zone, but he's missed this here. J-Russ trying to go over Porklet. Tool committed as well, but Porklet makes that save as well.
Luke
Porklet
has
watched
all...
RBG's series flash before his eyes.
Luke had the entire net. He had everything. The gates to the kingdom were open, and he smacks it right at Porklet and gives Porklet a save.
J-Russ makes another big clear, and now they got numbers back the other way. 2-on-1, and they don't even get a good shot off. Now Freshness. Beaten out there by Porklet. This will roll out towards Tool, but he's got to scramble back a little bit to get a good touch. He will also get the midfield boost, but he needs his teammates to come through. Bambi with 50 seconds left. Still a lot of time to defend. Tool coming on, couldn't get around for a shot. Now it'll be Porklet. He does get around, but that's blocked away by Freshness. Luke gonna try to take control, and J-Russ got there just ahead of Bambi. More time off the clock as Mirage tries to hang on. If this lead holds up, they will retain their spot in the top 6. Nobody communicating between Bambi and Porklet, but Luke couldn't bring the ball forward. Now to be Bambi. Towards Porklet. Blocked by Freshness again with 14 seconds. It has been a mess for RBG, but they still have a chance. Now with 8 seconds left. Tool up ahead. Bambi is there. Tough angle. Oh, he gets it off the Tool. And Luke made the save. Luke just saved Mirage's season yet again. Freshness needs to down this somewhere, and he'll get help from Bambi to do so. Mirage stays alive and finishes inside the top 6.
Oh, man.
Wow.
God, right down to the buzzer. That one was an absolute madhouse there at the end. Luke with the last second save. Man, we asked for him to do a little bit, and we asked for that during versus Stromboli. He shows up here at the end in the final game to keep them alive. Shows up once again. Great heads-up play from him to get in front of that ball and get that thing blocked out of there. But God, that was a rough series to watch go back and forth. Both teams struggling in a lot of situations there. Mirage, a couple things to work on, but you are staying in. We'll see you next season. Come back in, fix a couple issues there, and you guys will be off to a good start.
So here's what we know so far. First place is still a battle between Omni and Charlotte. Stromboli, either going to go second or third, whatever. Absolute Leverage, they're locked in 4th place. Mirage, they're in the top 6. Monkey Business, 72, RBG are out. And that means there's some drama left to unfold between Warriors International and Chaos Esports Club. And wouldn't you know it, Supersonic? We've got Chaos coming up. It's our final match in North America. Chaos season on the line. Number 1 on the line for the Charlotte Phoenix. Of course, it's how we scripted it out. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back after this.
Go on, myself. I'm cold steel stainless. My glass half full. Always said don't suffer no fools. Serpents, they dream. I bite, you call me lovely. Got a sweet tooth. I'm gonna get the sugar from you. When they say I'm a machine gun, I take it as a compliment. Honey, you should know I can be a weapon. Bleach like ice, tracing all my scars. Why is it hurt on the inside? It's unforgivable, but I forgive you every time. Hard to let it go, 'cause we're intertwined. I break you break me, but something about it makes us so, baby. Every piece keeps us together in the core. I break you break me, holding our love in chains of gold. I break you break me, holding our love in chains of frozen in my dream. I can't escape the thoughts of you if I try to leave. When I'm with you, I can't.
And it all comes down to this. Welcome to the final game of the Rival Series. I'm your host, Tom F. Battinger. And of course, we got the guys with the most. It's Stacks over there and super kind of closer to me. So Stacks broke it down for us. It all comes down to this. Charlotte Phoenix, 6-2 on the season, numero uno for now. If they win this, then they win it all. And Karma's back in the RLCS. I know her and her fans are rooting for that one. Chaos on the other side, there's a lot going on here. Stacks, I mean, as we look at Chaos, what do the green and black fans have to root for here?
Well, obviously a win, and it is just things have look. This could have been very complicated if other results had gone different ways, right? But it is very simple. They win, they're into the top 6. They lose, they are out. There is no, if we win one game, if we win 2 games, no. Win, you're in. Lose, you're out. Because now, the whole 3-2 stuff doesn't matter. Monkey business is already out.
Been a rough series, rough go of it for Chaos, but finally they have their destiny in their own hands. Taroko, Mektos, and Corrupted Gabe, they have put on a good show. This is a strong team. This is a good-looking squad. Super, I'm going to you next here. I mean, we all know that Charlotte Phoenix are the top card. They're number 1. Karma's a fantastic veteran. Turo has pulled out all the stops. But it is realistic that Chaos wins this one, is it not?
They can. I'm not going to count them out of it by any means. They've come through and they've had some good series throughout the season. Up against the top teams, though, they're averaging 1-3. So it's going to be an uphill battle for them for sure. Really, the only stat where they really line up is shooting percentage is really the main stat where they line up. So they need to crank that dial to 12, and they just need to outshoot them here. They're going to need to put some big numbers up on the board to take down Charlotte Phoenix.
Watching Charlotte throughout the season, they did take some time to get ramped up. And this is a team that doesn't do well against the teams that pepper their goal, the extremely offensive teams. They tend to let a couple of goals through. And so I look at Chaos Esports, and I look at Taroko and Mektos, and these guys are quite active. Super, again, I'm going to go to you. You're generally the stats guy here. You gave us a great breakdown of how they're 1-3 versus the top teams. But what about the fast teams? Taroko and Mektos shoot a lot. Is it enough to topple Phoenix?
I'm not sure. You're talking about a team that shoots. Phoenix is a team that shoots. Have you heard of this guy, Shadow? He shoots the ball a lot. In the majority of the time, he puts that ball in the back of the net. The guy is shooting extremely hot, 1.37 goals per game. That's the highest average across both sides, NA and EU. So, yes, they can shoot hot. Yes, they can get out there and get it going, but they're really going to need to do it and do it early to where they are disrupting that flow. And Charlotte's one of those teams that just kind of holds firm. they don't really get to a point where we see them flustered very often, or we see them doing double commits and scrambling for balls on the goal line. And that's
Sure.
what you're going to have to do to this team if you want to be able to start shooting hot like that. You've got to get them uncomfortable so that there's holes in the defense. And I'm
All right.
not sold that they can do it.
So it sounds like you are going to go with Charlotte Phoenix for your prediction. You definitely set the table there. Charlotte looks to retain their number one spot. If Super is correct, Stacks, the floor is yours.
So remember way back, this is gonna be ancient history. Back when we were in a studio, F. Dot, that this Charlotte team, they lost to Ablev in 5 games and they got swept by Stromboli. And since then, they have won the last 15 games of competitive Rocket League they have played in the North American Rival Series.
They haven't dropped one?
They have not
dropped them.
they have not dropped a single game in the last 5 series. So, you ask me who my pick is? I take the hot hand. I take the Charlotte Phoenix to go number 1 and get Karma back into the RLCS.
I'm here for that too. I really like this Chaos Esports Club team. Officially, I'm going with Charlotte Phoenix here. But I really like this team, Taroko and Mektos, because they have a unique style. Again, newer to the game, newer to the league, and I've been watching all these teams, and they have a style that's unlike the other squads. Taroko and Mektos are a dedicated 2v2 team, and they add a third. And they finally found one in Gabe that does work. Yes, I went back and I watched the historical VODs. But they have this nice kind of movement here that I love watching. The pace is up, the tempo is up. Unfortunately, their standings aren't up. They're at 6 right now, and we'll see if they can do it. Charlotte Phoenix playing for a shot at the big leagues. Can Karma do it? That's the question the teams are going to have to answer. Stacks and Super, you're on the horn.
20 and 7 over the course of the season, Supersonic. And again, that takes into account their 15-game winning streak. We haven't seen teams do that very often in the Rival Series. I can't think of a team that went 3-0 in 5 straight series. I'm sure one exists, but it has been an historic run for the Charlotte Phoenix, and if they could put 3 more together, they go up to the RLCS, but they're going up against a team, Super, in Chaos that is also playing for their lives.
They're playing against a team that is back against the wall, and that is when they're going to be the most dangerous. This is when they're going to do things that you may not expect. Maybe they don't all work for them, but they're going to at least try to keep this interesting as they try to bring a bit of pressure towards Charlotte Phoenix. Can they do that? I'm not sure. Charlotte Phoenix being second in the number of conceded goals that they give up so far this season, giving up less than 1.5 goals per game.
Yeah. That'll let you win a few games, won't it? To the tune of, again, 15 in a row. And it's a streak that they very well could. Let's face it, as good as this Chaos team is, I don't think it would surprise anybody to see them stretch that lead, or that streak to 18. Karma almost scoring from the ceiling there. Now Corrupted G, that's going to be blocked by Shadow. It does have to be a relief for Karma to go into this match trying to secure number 1, this time with Turinturo as a teammate as he scores.
Turinturo with the stretch to get to this. He was expecting this ball to be much more centered, and he has to stretch out to that side, get out in front of that ball, and redirect that back in, and he nails that shot. Every single player on this Charlotte Phoenix team can shoot ridiculous angles.
It was last season when Karma, Shadow, and Jay Wismont had to take on Full Metal Gaming, led by this same Turinturo, and FMG gave Charlotte all they could handle and then some, but ultimately Charlotte did prevail, and they took the number 1 spot in the league. It didn't matter. They ended up not promoting, but this time number 1 means you auto-promote. So nothing can go wrong as far as promotion goes. Double demo from Turinturo. Carvacita makes it 2-0.
Double demo. Mekdos realizing he's the only one left on the field on this lonely, lonely field where you are the last one left up, and you know every bit of pressure is on you to show up, not able to get there under that pressure. Lot of aggression so far coming out from Charlotte Phoenix.
Lonely is the night when you're all alone in goal. Shadow and Karma both back for this. And it will be Taroko who forces that through, and Duro just pops that up. Shadow will have it. That could have gone very badly for the Charlotte Phoenix, but it did not, as few things have.
I mean, they did back in week 2 and 3, Ablev Stromboli, but since then they have been flying high. And I remember Karma and Shadow and seeing all of them put out tweets of just, we don't know what's going on. We're not sure what the issue is. We're not performing like you guys expect us to. We're sorry. We saw those types of tweets, but man, whatever it is that wasn't working, you guys figured it out.
Kuro's shot is blocked, but Mekdo's going to find Taroko downfield. That's going to sail high. There will be no rebound because Shadow is able to play that and collect it. So many times you see a player just go for a big booming clear off the backboard. Shadow went with a more control-oriented approach. He got demoed, but he's right back into the play and dumping the ball right back into the Chaos end. Now Karma over to the other side. It will be Corrupted G past Shadow. Duro did take out Taroko, but Corrupted G would have a look if he hit the ball. This is still a little awkward for Duro, as Taroko will block that, and Karma will take over only for a moment. There haven't been many opportunities for Chaos. They've created a little bit of havoc in front of the net. That's maybe their best chance, but Turo blocked that too.
They're just not letting anything through. This is why this team does so well. They generate some of the fastest transitional offense that we've seen as they bang the ball back, and they always have somebody on the sidewall waiting for that, looking to do that cherry pick shot. And then on the other end, they don't allow that many shots to even occur. And when they do, they're still saving them.
Taroko over towards Corrupted G. But again, they cannot get a ball down in front. Can't get a good look on target. The shots are only 5-3 in favor of Charlotte. That's going to be blocked away as well. But mostly because Chaos, they can't get into position to get a shot off.
No, they're just getting swarmed. There is somebody there to challenge that ball. They're playing the defense challenge every ball in the offensive half. They're just in their face, putting pressure and just constantly attacking that ball. Shot on target, knocked away by Mekdos, but they're just there and they just kind of smother you and don't allow you to do anything that you want.
Mekdos will have a full tank of boost, but he doesn't get that ball. Instead, Corrupted G has to make the save. Down to 15 seconds as Shadow will apply a little more pressure. I mean, Taroko and Chaos, they need to score right about now to give themselves a chance, and they, again, cannot get downfield. Turinturo.exe is booted up. 3-0.
8 shots to 3. Since, I think this is the 1.5 or 2 minute left mark, you said something about the number of shots, and there hasn't been a shot out of Chaos since that point.
And there isn't going to be one either, because look at this. The kickoff does eventually get back to the Chaos defensive end. That will do it. Charlotte Phoenix make it 16 in a row. 16.
It's an absurd number.
These are dumb numbers. This is what they are.
They tripled the number of shots out of Chaos, and this is one of those stat lines, and this is something that they really figured out, this balance. They're a team that has a really balanced rotation. They don't leave too many open nets. They do occasionally, and they get punished now and then when they feel they have an opportunity to make an offensive attack, rather than seeing them kind of feel like they're forced to. I don't ever feel like Charlotte's forcing their way into a triple commit on the other end of the field. They're doing it systematically. So that leaves them in situations where they have a player back. And the majority of the time, that guy's breaking the play up at the midfield. He's not even letting the ball get down the field to take a shot on the net. And on the same side, on the other side of that token, when you stop the ball in midfield and you're doing placement the way that Shadow is, where he's kind of coming cross field, picking that ball up and self-touching it to himself on the wall and restarting the offense from the 50, things are going to go your way, and they end up generating a ton of shots. They end up getting second overall in the season with 9 shots per game.
In this stretch of 16 straight victories, now 9 of them have been shutouts, rather 8 of them have been shutouts, including 3 in a row over Omni Nation, and then they added a couple more against, I believe it was 72 PC, so at one point they had a good 25 minutes or so keeping teams off the board. This will not be a shutout, as Mektos will score very early on, and that's a great sign for Chaos after they were stifled in game 1.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to try and break out of that smothering pressure and presence of Charlotte, getting a goal and being up 1-0 at the start, it's a great way to get it started.
Turinturo, can he get back onto this? No, but Shadow can, and that could be just as deadly. We see some great passes out of him. A player that, of course, you know you're going to get scoring out of him. You could get some here, but Taroko will make the save. I almost couldn't believe when I looked at the numbers and saw 1.3 plus goals per game. After a great pass there, Karma's shots blocked by Mektos. I mean, you've got to be on your game defending this team at all times.
Not only does he have 1.37 goals per game, he's averaging 1.59 saves per game and almost 4 shots a game. He's on both ends of the field. He's not necessarily there as much on that assist. He still averages 0.67 assists per game, so, you know, he's getting one every other game. But if you have a player that's going to score that many goals while getting that many saves, who cares if the guy assists? Let him go do his thing. The other two of you figure out how to assist each other.
Some players do both extremely well, like Rizex for RJM we saw earlier today when they punched their ticket into the top 6 in Europe. Some, they just do one thing incredibly well, and that is what Shadow does. He does offense. He does offense good, period. Turinturo. This is going to go quickly downfield, and there's Taroko with a big drive, and the lead is 2 for Chaos.
Yeah, Mekto's going to put that one into the middle, and Taroko's going to get a piece of it. Sends a boomer downfield, and they extend that lead out. They seem to have figured it out. They got something going here, but Charlotte is that team that when they do drop, they typically turn it back around. They do figure these things out quickly, live in match. A lot of teams we see them take until the next game. These comms with these guys are going, and they are figuring out what the issue is now and trying to correct that.
Karma challenged by Corrupted G. This will kick right out towards Shadow. No way he gets another touch on this. And it will be guided off to the corner by Corrupted G, who has a teammate over there in Mektos. Now Gabe all the way across, but waiting for it is Turinturo. And Taroko had to get a dangerous touch. Just the one he needed. Back downfield goes this ball, only to be brought right back in. Turinturo looking for Corrupted G, and I think he got a piece of it.
I think he might have. Arma with the bomb from their third of the field. Gets it just up and over. Corrupt doesn't get him. It looks like Corrupted just narrowly dodged him, but Corrupted got just a piece of the ball. It looks like he either ran out of boost or he let off of it just early out. He had another 2-3 boost in the tank. He should have made contact with that and sent that into the ceiling or the backboard.
I mean, they are a pretty good ranked duo, but now is not the time or the place. Karma challenging one to get it over to the side. Turinturo has to as well. 2 minutes left. And Charlotte Phoenix have been gifted a goal, which is the last thing the likes of, say, Omni Nation want to see.
The last thing they even need.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not a team you need to gift anything to, believe me. Give them all you have. Let them earn it. Don't hand them to them on a silver platter.
Shadow will lob one up. Will be easily cleared away. The lead still intact for Chaos, but maybe not for long. Shadow's shot going to be disrupted. He's going to pop that out towards Karma, but he wasn't expecting that last touch. Now a ball banked in towards the target. Karma has to go way up top. It'll be Turinturo who takes this. He's got Shadow all the way downfield. He hit him, and Turo will collect on the pass from Shadow. That is beautiful.
This is where Charlotte Phoenix shines. These types of plays, we've seen it a couple times. They take them to the corner and they play this kind of cherry picker roll out of the corner and off the opponent's backboard, and they set up pass opportunities that not a lot of other teams execute on. We don't see that happen quite as often as Charlotte Phoenix does it.
Turinturo all the way across. Nobody was there, but Karma beaten by Mektos, so Shadow falling away into his own net has to make that save. Now Turo to kill a little more time off the clock. Get downfield, score with as little time as possible, because it almost feels like it's inevitable that the Charlotte team's going to score again as Turo gets around Turoko. And past Corrupted G, this will pop right up. Karma's there, but so is Turoko. And back downfield goes everybody else, and Turo was being chased by Mektos there. Mektos almost caught up to him. Karma with 20 seconds left looking for Shadow. Instead, this ball could have fallen to Turo, but he backs up and deals with that attempt from Corrupted G. Good conservative play, but now Turo's going to make this save, and he does. Boy, that was crucial for the Charlotte Phoenix. They keep this game tied, but for how much longer? Looks like in towards overtime, though nothing is certain as Karma keeps us in the air. Shadow will get there. Maybe a little greedy, but it could work out. Mektos, no. Corrupted G will keep it up. And now Chaos will have a chance. This should definitely touchdown. Oh, it does not.
What
Corrupted G
just happened?
just above the goal line.
Gabe, you're nuts, brother. Gets one off the backboard, gets underneath the front flip to lift that ball just enough to sneak it past the goal line, and they steal this one away from Charlotte Phoenix.
Wow. That's incredible. It's the second time we've seen today that a game probably should have gone to overtime. There's no reason
Put the
for the
ball
ball to be kept up, and it still ends in regulation on just unreal stuff from Corrupted G. What a time to score his first goal of the series as Chaos steals that game back from the Charlotte Phoenix.
That is how you show up when, you know, maybe nothing's going on. You haven't had a ton happen yet in the series. Hello, Gabe is here. He just showed up in the final second, and it shows why you need to just ground that ball out. It's the final day of the season of league play. Charlotte, bury that ball in the dirt. Put it in the turf. Put it in the ground. End that match and move on to the next one and take your 3-0. What? Get the 3-0.
Well, they would have had to go to overtime to get there, to be fair.
Yeah.
And they did give up a kickoff goal. So take that for what it's worth. But hey, doesn't matter how you get there, right? 3-2. The win goes to Chaos. We're 1-1 in the series, baby.
We're getting at least a game 4 out of this one.
Sure are.
Which is not something I expected. Chaos definitely putting on a much better performance here than paper would indicate they should be doing. But again, when someone's back is against the wall, that's when they're going to try to levels that you're not used to experiencing from them. And Corrupted G getting very involved and showing how much he's locked in and how much he cares about this series right now at the final moment of game number 2.
There is nothing more dangerous than a creature with its back against the wall in fight or flight mode, because if they choose to fight, look out. Chaos certainly have. Turinturo over towards Karma, doing all she could to try and redirect that back towards the net. He could not, and now here comes Mektos. Got around one, but Karma's right there. And again, you cannot lapse for a beat at all. You've got to be constantly moving, constantly communicating, and these two teams have epitomized that so far in 2 games and a minute. Turinturo over towards Shadow. And Shadow creates something out of nothing. Got the pass off to Karma, but the save made by Corrupted G. But how do you come back from giving up that goal? Shadow's got to direct that to the corner. He does. Karma will follow. There is no boost over there. Corrupted G won't get to this in time, but it should be Chaos ball. Only until Turinturo gets his hands on it. He might have lost that ball, though. He did, and Taroko took it away.
I'm not sure what's going on here at the start of this match with Charlotte Phoenix. Maybe that goal from Gabe has done something to them. But thus far, almost all the hits had gone the way of Turinturo. There really wasn't a lot of team movement. He was kind of the guy that was just there for everything. And eventually, he's going to have a bad touch. Unfortunately, it came to them at a time where it basically just left an open net, and they give up that first goal, which is what happened in the last series. Chaos opened up with the opening goal, and they have the lead here once again going into game number 3. This is not where you want to be right now, Charlotte. You got to get it together.
Corrupted G will yield to Taroko. Mektos didn't quite get there in time, and here's Turinturo throwing one over to the corner. Might have had Shadow as an option, but he couldn't get around for a pass. Mektos plays that back into his own corner, not the touch that anybody on Chaos was hoping for. And now he's kind of made a mess of things on the side. Mektos got a demo, though, and took Shadow out of the play.
Ooh.
Doesn't matter, because Karma comes bullying her way through.
Yeah, Karma going to come in and just juggernaut this ball right off the top of Corrupted. Almost rolls him upside down with the amount of power she put into the side of that ball, into the side of his car. Pushes that one through, ties it up. 1/2. Game number 3 remains.
Remember, if Chaos wins this series, they remain in the top 6. Off the post by Corrupted G, the hero of game 2. But if they lose, they are out of the top 6. They'll have to go through the play-in process again. And there's Taroko with a big drive as Chaos means business.
Double commit there from Turin. That was not his ball. He's actually behind Shadow at that point. He jumped from the third man position and tried to get up there with Karma, which left their last man all alone in net and made it way too easy to go in to bully him and open that other side up.
Mektos underneath one, over another, trying to bully his way through Shadow. It's almost worked out. There's another shot from Taroko. Make it 4 in the series.
RBG Chaos is just swarming them right now. Charlotte Phoenix is just not able to get up. They feel like they're on the back foot. They're fighting from a position they haven't been in a long time, in weeks worth of time. And you can see it's kind of getting to them. They're not playing like we saw them play in game number 1.
So Taroko's got a hat trick. 3-1 the lead for Chaos. Trying to take the upper hand in a series they must win. A series that Charlotte has to win to hold on to number 1. If you're an Omni Nation fan right now, boy, you're feeling like you're on cloud 9 the way this series is going. They are getting a fight out of Chaos. Corrupted G and Shadow collide. It'll be Shadow's boost out of the corner, but he can't get around on a shot because Mektos is there. So Turinturo will try to center again. Got it out towards Shadow, but not the ball he was expecting, so Karma will have to take over. Hops over one, but Mektos is there. That's good defending. Good patient defending by Chaos, because sometimes you see a team take their time like that. You get a little jumpy. They didn't. They turn it into this on the other side. Taroko is en fuego.
Taroko out of the corner using a almost Charlotte style offense there, where he's just all the way down the field looking for that quick transition, that that kind of give me position, feed me the ball, and he's there, and he converts on it. Oh my!
Shadow's not gonna get there in
Ooh.
time for this, and this is a victory lap right now for Chaos in Game 3.
This is rough to watch after we just talked about how long it's been since they even dropped a game. And right now, Charlotte Phoenix does not look themselves.
Give you an idea of how bizarre this series has been. We talked about Shadow averaging 1.37 goals a game. He's got 6 hat tricks on the season. Nobody else has more than 3. And that's Wondermite, who's got 3. But he does not have a goal in this series. Got a few assists, almost got one there. But another missed opportunity by the Charlotte Phoenix. Been the story of this series for them, and it's a series in which they're going to drop down 2-1 against Chaos. Chaos Esports Club, 5 minutes away from saving their spot in Season 10 of the Rival Series, as they have brought it back 2-1 ahead, and it all started, Super, with that incredible goal from Corrupted G at 0 in Game 2.
Yeah, that's the shot in the arm for this Chaos team, was Corrupted G coming through with that amazing 0-second clincher to stop it from going to OT in the previous round. Now they came through and just carried that momentum over and dominated this match, 12 shots to 6, doubling the number of shots that Phoenix took. That does not happen. That has not happened. I don't know that they've been doubled in total number of shots, even in the two games where they had issues where they took their losses earlier in the season. I don't believe that existed in the Ablev or Stromboli games. So Chaos right now is just on it offensively. They are after every single ball. They're starting to set up plays that we haven't seen them do a ton. Those cherry pick plays, like Taroko's been down there just kind of waiting for the ball, trusting his teammates to clear defensively. They're operating like a well-oiled machine right now.
If Chaos goes on to win this is a huge if, but if Chaos wins here, is that goal by Corrupted G the single most important goal of the season?
I think it's the most impactful goal of the season. I don't know about most important, but I will say that it had the most impact. I'm only saying that because I can't remember every goal.
Sure. It feels like this whole series shifted after that goal, though. Maybe not. Shadow finally scores one as he gets a kind bounce off the crossbar.
That is not what you want to see, Chaos. You do not want to see Shadow start putting balls in the net. This is the guy that's kind of been asleep here so far for this series for them. Shadow is that offensive power for them. He is that guy that makes plays happen. He does the solo plays, and he's been out of it for multiple games here, and I'm not sure. I'm trying to watch this round if it ends up happening again, of what they are doing that is causing him so much grief and issue. But if he gets going, I expect this one to turn around really quickly.
Goal number 38 on the season for Shadow. We thought we were going to see that in Game 1, and then plenty more to follow. Here's Taroko, just barely blocked by Karma. And Shadow with another clear downfield. He's got Turo chasing. Taroko's got to get up there, and he does. Excellent defending by Taroko, who has been so important for Chaos over the past few seasons, even going back to when they were Clutch Twist, but especially in this series. Is this going to be on target? It is!
Man, this win here against Shadow coming off the corner. Shadow loses control of that ball, comes out just quick enough to throw Karma off and not able to get turned around and carry the momentum up quick enough to get a touch on it. 1-1.
The hits keep on coming every time Charlotte has something going their way. They had 2 unanswered goals near the end of Game 2. Looked like they were going to force overtime. Even had a chance to win it at 0. And then they just get gutted by Corrupted G at the 0-second mark. They haven't been the same since. Getting that goal early was great, but then that goes in from Mektos. And more threatening here as Corrupted G can't get around on a pass. Karma up against Taroko, and winning a challenge against Taroko has been like pulling teeth. He bumps Karma from behind, knocks her out of the play. And now Mekdos, that got around Shadow, but there is Karma.
Yeah, Taroko's been really aggressive on the bump side, too. Previously, before that bump you just called out, he had just come through on his previous pass and actually bumped Shadow as I was trying to watch and see what the issue has been for him on that side, and that may be it. They may just be targeting him and trying to bump him.
Dropped out in front, but Mekdos will just roll one out there for Turinturo to collect. And good on him. He got ball and boost and got back on the ball, but didn't have any teammates downfield to help him. Karma taken out by Taroko yet again. It does feel like Taroko has kind of made that a point of emphasis to just try and take Karma off the field. Almost like she enables a lot that Charlotte does, which she does. Taroko got her
is
again.
just out there.
He's going to be up for this just ahead of Shadow. 2 minutes and change remaining in a game that, remarkably, Charlotte has to win to keep their hopes at number 1 and going directly to the RLCS alive. They are guaranteed no less than a spot in the promotion tournament, but given how unkind the promotion tournament has been to this roster in the past, pretty sure they'd like to avoid that at all costs. Karma, big drive, it's wide, but sent away anyways. Now Corrupted G off to the corner. Chaos, meanwhile, they got to feel pretty good about the position they're in. As much as they have gifted to the Charlotte Phoenix, they've gotten a few gifts of their own, and they've also created a lot of incredible offense, especially on the part of Taroko, who is there to challenge Karma. That'll find Corrupted G. Coming on is Mekdos, and he almost hit Corrupted G right on the mark. Shadow is trying to get that to Turinturo. Wasn't his best pass. Down to a minute remaining. 1 goal apiece. Chaos looking for what at this point may well be a golden goal. Karma trying to drop one down. Taroko is right there. Nothing in front for the Charlotte Phoenix. So Turinturo will try again, and Mekdos is there to beat him again.
Taroko just has his hands on everything. Taroko just has his hands on everything. He's there for every pass coming infield. He's there to bump or demo somebody every time they're in the offensive half. Gets there to block Shadow just now, and you saw him. He tried to turn and go upfield like he was going to go for another bump or demo, but saw that opportunity go away. He is just seeing everything and trying to take a chance. If there's an opportunity, he is absolutely jumping for it.
Down to 5 seconds. Mekdos trying to center. Nobody's there. Karma, one last look, and as she got it, might have beaten Taroko, but hey, this time, they go to overtime.
Yeah, no Corrupted G coming in for a hero play off the wall this time. We're actually going to see this OT. Corrupted G is going to try and set one up, though, early for Taroko, who's been extremely hot-handed, but he is unable to get to that one.
I mean, it is amazing how many close games Chaos played last season. They had this absurd stat that I wish I could remember. They played probably about 50 such games, and after that demo by Shadow, Turinturo prolongs the series to 5.
That's how you get it done. Here early, they're going to get in, get the pressure going. Shadow's going to go in for the bump, make a huge open net for that opportunity. Turinturo there to finish. We're going to get the game 5. It has been a rough go to get there. Because of course we are. Why would we have anything other than a game 5 with this scenario of fighting to be number 1 and fighting to stay alive? What better place to finish off league play for the season than on Champions Field?
It's so fitting, right? We go to Champions Field. Here's what's on the line for everybody here. If Charlotte wins this next game, they will go number 1. That much is settled. They'll go number 1. They'll be in the RLCS. They don't have to play in the promotion tournament. It'll be left for Stromboli and Omni Nation to fight over that. If Chaos wins, then you look at Chaos will get into the top 6. Oh, by the way, if Charlotte wins, Chaos is out of the top 6. You've got Warriors International would be in the top 6. So that would be Karma helping out Jay Wismont and company. You've got, if Chaos wins, they're in the top 6. Warriors are out, and Omni goes to number 1. There's so many parts that will stop moving at the end of this next 5 minutes, and it all comes down to Champions Field one last time, Supersonic.
This is it. This is that moment. We've got the 3 count. We've got the go-ahead with the first kickoff of the final match of NA League play for the Rival Series this season.
NA Rocket League, everybody. Here we go. Corrupted G. Lob towards Karma. She will have this ball, so we'll get a piece of that as well off of Mektos. Now it'll be lobbed forward by Shadow for Turinturo. That's been a deadly combo. Karma doesn't center, so Mektos will get this out. Corrupted G around a defender. Oh, what a pretty goal by Corrupted G!
It's as pretty as that pink little car that Corrupted G is driving. That touch to get it around the defender under and to the right, but didn't put it too far. Left it right in line for himself to get back behind that ball and sink that shot. Beautiful heads-up play from Corrupted.
Corrupted G is seldom going to be Chaos's leading scorer in a series, but every goal he scores, or a good chunk of them, are going to be so vitally important. Shadow couldn't react in time as the ball kind of ricocheted around. That was a great opportunity for Charlotte to tie the game, but that's gone by the wayside and they have to work from their own defensive end again. Sirocco very calmly trying to get by Shadow. Karma's got the midfield boost, so she'll take this over and cannot stay up in the air, so Mektos will have it away. Now Mektos, taken by Turinturo. We mentioned that a win for Charlotte Phoenix would be Karma helping out Jay Wismont after they were teammates for so long. It would also be Turinturo helping out Buddy and Thunder. But they still got to get there. They've got to find a goal sometime in the next 3 minutes plus. Karma got this centered, but again cleared away. Now Turinturo for Shadow. That's going to be wide, and Mektos try to clear it away, only as far as Karma. But there is Sirocco to send it away. So another kind of salvo from Charlotte Phoenix, dismissed by the defense of Chaos. Now Mektos, oh, if he had any boost at all, might have been able to get back onto that ball, but he has to let that one go.
A lot of holes on the Charlotte side. That's got to be 6th, 7th, maybe 8th time we've seen just an open net throughout this series so far, which is something that they just don't typically do. I'm not sure what they are trying to change to try and meet Chaos's offense right now, but whatever it is not working properly.
Oh, what a play from Turo, and his shot just whistled wide. Oh boy, that feels like robbery. Feels like this game should be tied. It is not. Shadow does win that challenge. It'll find Turo.
Oh!
Double tap, and we are tied.
He's getting it back. He doesn't care. No way he's letting the post have another ball from him. He is mad, and he is getting that one back. Turinturo with the beautiful self-pass off the wall into a ridiculous angle.
And the roller coaster of emotions that must be felt right now between Warriors and Omni and Chaos fans and Charlotte fans, all watching this one with their breaths held. It'll be Turinturo looking for Karma, and that's great proactive defense by Turoko to Shadow Heaven again, off the crossbar. Follow up from Turo. He can follow this as well. That's played out by Turoko.
Oh.
I think Shadow was looking for Turo there, but Turo had no boost, had to rotate out. 40 to work with for Corrupted G. Needed one more touch to try and bounce that through, but just missed the mark. Margin for error so slim at this point. Every missed touch, every missed rotation, every missed boost matters so much at this point. Shadow's coming on, tried to slow play, and Corrupted G did not give him any room to breathe. Now Turoko trying to get a piece of the defender. Mektos for Corrupted G, and that's swatted away again. Another shot on, that's off the crossbar, and Turo will take this away. No follow-up there from Chaos. Had there been someone trying to read that, it may be an effort Tory as Corrupted G made the save but did not get that corner boost. Turo took it away from him. So Corrupted's got to get all the way across the field. This will waterfall down, and Corrupted G recovers in time.
Starting to turn into a bit of a slugfest between these two teams, each going down the field, making a quick attack, then the other one coming back, throwing a shot of their own. Corrupted G going to be able to block another one there as Karma comes off the ceiling down to Shadow.
Oh, Turoko, he got there again. Charlotte have been so close. Now watch out on the other side. 5 seconds left. Can Chaos do it again to them? Shadow's going to put this one up. Content to let it go down this time. It'll be golden goal to determine oh so much as we close out North America.
Champions Field OT. Is there anything that goes together better than that?
Corrupted G to the corner. Almost did it with a double off the kickoff. Now Turo. He's got Shadow down there, but he won't get a touch. Turoko's all over it. Oh, that popped out.
Ooh.
Karma stopped by Corrupted G.
Oh, so close. Shadow with a nice little stop here to turn Turo. See if they can turn this into a quick offensive change.
Well, Turoko's in a tough spot. Corrupted G's got to get up, and he does. Just ahead of Shadow. He did barely enough. Karma waiting for Turo to get her the ball. She's coming on. Mektos blocks this, and Shadow will regroup.
That's something that Karma does.
But his teammates didn't.
It's something Karma does so often, is really more so than other players. You'll see Karma come up and go for a backboard and just touch the ball against the backboard and kind of pinch it down in front of the net.
Turoko almost faked out the entire defense. Corrupted G didn't get rid of this ball, but he did pop this up, and Turoko will have that away. Turo wisely staying back. This series is not going to end like that, I assure you. Corrupted G. Oh, Mektos had to avoid Turo. Shadow had Karma, but she turned around. Turo's going to bring another one in. High tension, high drama on Champions Field with oh so much on the line. We're going to send a team to the RLCS at the end of this, whenever it ends. Corrupted G, big clear. Mektos is there for it, but this is going to be wide. Shadow boost and ball and possession through one, but Corrupted G should have this. He's got options. He had to look to see where Mektos was. Now Mektos coming on. That's not going to be anything, but it is popped up by Turo. This could be trouble, but Turoko got nothing behind it. Turo moving a little bit faster than the Chaos defense. He's able to get a shot off and steal some boost. This could be a missed opportunity for Chaos to get downfield as Karma will keep the pressure on. She'll also steal even more boost out of the zone. Now Shadow floating one up and Corrupted G's all over it. It looked like for a moment they might have had Mektos dead to rights in the net, but good team defense by Chaos prevailed. Corrupted G now. Over to Mektos. Oh, he's whiffed that ball. This could be trouble. Chance for the Charlotte Phoenix. They can get on to possession here. Turo looking for one more touch. He'll get this to the corner, but it's going to be Karma who has to dive in. Turo waiting. Not getting a pass as Shadow could not finish there, but Karma's going to run onto one. Turo's up, and Corrupted G stopped him.
Man, these team plays, I love it that Charlotte isn't falling into a rhythm of just trying to take solo plays. They're still trying to create these team pass opportunities for themselves. But the read defense of Chaos has been stepping up to the task as they put one down in front. And Mektos!
Mektos saves Chaos! They're going to stay in the top 6, and it's Omni Nation who goes to the RLCS. Mektos, the veteran, from an even wilier veteran in Corrupted G. What a finish for Chaos!
Oh, the story of the underdog coming through to keep themselves alive in the season is not the storyline I thought we'd be telling at the end of this series, but I am happy to do so. What a play from Mektos to get in there under and against all odds. This team comes through and pulls this off. They are sending Charlotte to the promotional. They are no longer that number 1 seed. Omni gonna be the one to take over that spot, and Chaos stays alive.
Chaos does stay in the top 6, and F-Dot, there are going to be just some tears tonight in the Queen City as Charlotte Phoenix will have to go through the promotion tournament.
I mean, there are tears on my pillow right now. This is, I could not have predicted this at all. I mean, we watched Charlotte Phoenix come through, and they haven't lost a game until the set that they need to win to auto promote against the number 6 squad. I mean, this is outlandish. I mean, Super, what do you have to say after that one? I mean, what can you say?
I'm glad you went to him.
I don't know. I got nothing. So I'll sit here and look like the dumb one for a couple more seconds here while we let Stacks gather his thoughts. I have no idea what happened here. In terms of watching play, like eyeball test for the past few weeks, Charlotte should have won this. We go to paper, number 1 team in goals per game, number 1 in assists per game, 2nd in total shots per game, 2nd in shooting percentage, 2nd in least number of goals given up per game. Against 7th, 8th, 9th, 7th in all the same categories, which just doesn't make up. But we said it at the beginning. When your back is against the wall, and as long as you can operate and your fight or flight isn't chaotic, it is controlled in some level. Chaos took the chaos out of having their back against the wall, and they controlled exactly as they needed to, and they handled that game the best way we have seen somebody handle them in 6 weeks. So,
look, I didn't go with Charlotte
Chaos.
Phoenix for my overall prediction here, but this is what I was bringing up in the pregame. Chaos has a tendency to pepper the opposition, goal after goal, or shot after shot after shot, and they don't always turn into goals. That's why they're number 6. But Charlotte Phoenix, and again, you guys are the analysts. I've given the eye test, and I have been here for 1 season, and what I gathered was that Charlotte just couldn't handle these high-tempo teams. And Chaos comes through and pulls it out. Incredible, Stacks. We're going to take a look at the standings as they are confirmed here. Not next week, but the week after. We'll be looking at the promotional tournament. Omni Nation won't be there. They're already in the RLCS. Charlotte Phoenix and Stromboli will go head-to-head against some of our RLCS veterans. Absolute Leverage, Chaos Esports Club, and Mirage. We'll see you next year. Warriors International, Monkey Business, 72 PC, and RBG. We knew ye well. Y'all will have to re-enter in the play-ins. So like we said, next week, we will take a break, and the week after the play-ins, the promotional tournament, this is what we're looking at. Charlotte Phoenix is going to go up against E United, and Stacks. Stromboli goes face-to-face against Rogue. We'll dive deeper at a different time, but give us the quick and dirty about Rogue, Stromboli, and E United Charlotte.
Well, I think with Rogue Stromboli, like I think Stromboli can go toe-to-toe with anybody else that's left in front of them, but I don't think that they're going to beat this Rogue team. I know a lot of people are very much down on Rogue, and they have a lot of reason to be, but I find it impossible to believe that Kronovi is going to let that team relegate out of the RLCS. I believe it will be over his dead body. If that means he needs to tell everybody to get out of the way and let him just take over the series, that's what he will do. I don't see that rogue team demoting out of the RLCS. And on the other side of the upper bracket, I thought after game one, I was ready to say that, look, Charlotte Phoenix are an RLCS team that's trapped in the rival series. I still think that. I still think when they are firing, they're going to be as tough to beat as anybody else in the league. So I like their chances against E United, but I'm worried about them up here because they should have promoted last season and they only got better. And now they've got to go through it again.
It'll be tough. The ringer, a barn burner, as an old friend used to say. Super. This has been our first season here in the Rival Series, and it has come to a close. Europe was earlier today, North America here. Do you have any final words until next time?
I'll see y'all again in 2 weeks here with this same crew, which it has been an absolute honor and a pleasure to work with. It's been an absolute blast getting to do the RLRS season and be involved all the way around, all the way down to the production teams. Both sides, NGE and the guys over at Rival Esports, have both stepped up in this time of uncertainty to at least put this together to where we can do this every week still. So shout outs to everybody. And shout out again to Stranger. Jake, you're the man. Way to be there for everybody on both sides of that, for all talent teams and just everybody involved. That guy gets my MVP award for the season.
For sure. I, of course, reiterate everything that my mustachioed friend has said. And of course, I got to shout out perhaps the most important people here besides the players, the fans. You guys have shown up in droves every week. Even when we traded the studio for our homes, you guys still showed up. It shows just how strong this whole Rocket League nation is. Everything can go on outside of the world. But when we're on Champions Field, that's what matters. You guys deserve your own banner. Thank you so much for allowing me to host you throughout this Rival Series. Take a week off, and we will see you for the promotional tournament. I'm Tom F. Battinger. These are my friends, as are you, and we'll catch you next time.
don't drive.